Welcome, everybody. We are here. Black Twitch League playoffs, semifinals. I think I'm always really
Yes.
bad at semis, octas, quadras, the whole thing. But we have Spectre Gaming versus Fantastic Four and Zerathai. It is me, of course, your friend who you never hug, Little Rodney, aka the old sad boy. And we brokered a great deal with both Henson Productions and Disney to get Wookie Monster here.
Hello,
Everything
everybody.
cleared.
How's it going?
Yeah, so we do have. Oh, and we actually had to reach out to Maria's dungeon as well. It was
Yeah.
crazy negotiations. I swear to God. But now that we have him here, we are very glad that he is helping us out. Going to provide some insight. But we have the bands coming in quick and in a hurry. We have the Victor and the Caitlyn for Spectre Gaming. We have the Sejuani and the Aatrox for FFZ. The Aatrox, I know that Aatrox is like the pick a lot of times. Sejuani as well. Seems like Lake is being unfairly targeted.
Yeah, these are a lot. Well, I think these are very good bands in general as well. Not only targeted, but I mean they're really good in the meta right now. So makes a lot of sense. The Aatrox, the Sejuani, Caitlyn, Victor, always a menace on the Rift. So looking forward to what Spectre first picks. They are on blue side this game, and FFNZ are on red. I think blue side is usually the favorite here, as we see the Yubi first picked. Definitely, you don't want to let that go through, but I guess FFNZ had no other choice.
Yeah, I mean, what we have seen and what we did see a lot was that if Yumi is first picked, we do get a Lucian Nami here, but that is not going to be the case. It looks like it's going to be a Varus for Zerathai. Not 100% sure quite yet, but yeah, it the issue kind of being that there's so many right now power picks for the solo lanes that if you don't, basically you have to choose between where you would like to not have fun. And it seems like both teams kind of index more towards we'll let the bot lanes be what they will be, as we do get the Varus and the Renata Glass coming in for FFZ. Wonder what Spectre is going to pair with that Yumi. We've seen Yumi get paired with a lot of things.
Yeah,
Uh,
could be the Sivir. That's the classic combo that they have there. We are facing on the side of Spectre. They're up against Vars Renata, which I mean Vars has recently, very recently, has resurged as a character who can do a lot of disruption. Right? We just saw a lot of good games over at Worlds on the Vars, so. Looking forward to seeing that same kind of tactics come from FF and Z. The Renata Glass good disruption as well. Hecarim picked on the other side. I haven't really seen Hecarim a lot, but definitely goes well with the theme of what they're trying to do. Just trying to go fast everywhere, right?
Yeah, there is a lot of go fast, and Hecarim with a Yumi plus a Silver ult will go. I don't even know. I don't think fast is the right way to phrase that. Will be uh, zoomy isn't even the right way to phrase that, but we do get a volley bear pick as well. Most likely go into manly male mailman, but could go a couple different places as well. Volley bear, just versatile like that. And it is going to be a Camille ban again. Not going to let Lake have anything fun. I think by the end of this, Lake is going to have to pick between like Malphite and I can't think of something else to go with it. But yes, they are trying to make sure that there are no options available for Lake. We do get an Orin ban from Spectre Gaming, and that's going to be a Talia ban from FFZ. So they are going to at least place one ban uh, with the mid laner. So I guess as balanced as you can be between the mid and mid and the top lane, making sure the solo laners aren't as comfortable as possible. We do get the Akali ban, most likely targeted at Chobin. And here we go with another pick from FFZ. Uh, I, I, I do wonder though, because if you move in super fast as Hecarim, and that hostile takeover comes through, that first auto is going to suck.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely a good response, and I'm surprised they kind of set themselves up to draft this sort of thing already when we're already showing Renata Glass on the other side a good disruption for that, right? So yes, I do agree that Hecarim charges in, the hostile takeover could end in their own despair, but we're pairing the Azir, another disruption champion. So I mean, there's a lot of things to disrupt the engage coming out from Spectre right here. And I do like this Orianna pick. I think it's a good counteraction to that, because she, even though she's not really seen too much in the meta right now, she does certainly have a presence, especially with the Hecarim.
Yeah. Absolutely. Orianna Hecarim, one of the least fun combos to deal with because you get ulted. You're running away. Psych, you're running back into the little fieldy thing, and you took all the damage. But we do also get a Renekton picked for Lake. So
this is a blind Renekton, by the way.
yeah,
So it might be a little rough. Let's see what FFZ pull out, because, like we said, they got the Ornn band away, and they're gonna pick the Shen into this. I think that is a pretty okay matchup. Definitely would have loved to see like an Ornn, but obviously that was banned. So I think that's all we really had left for Cobra, right?
yeah, that's true. The thing is, we have seen a lot of, about half the top laners we've seen this season have seemed to have kind of a, I'm just gonna play these three champions and we'll roll from there, and it's mostly worked out for them. So you can't really complain, except for we don't get a lot of goofiness in champ select. But yeah, it's most likely going to be Cobra on the Shin, unless River Shin.
I mean,
River Shin.
we haven't seen that in a long time. It's definitely possible, but I do think that Shen bears his weight against Renekton specifically, because he can block the auto attack stun coming out from Renekton. So just with good timing, of course, and these players certainly do have the good timings, as I think this is going to be the second to final game, if I remember correctly, of the entire series. The next game up is the finals, so whoever wins this, they're looking at trying to contend in the top of this league. So this is a best of 5, by the way, so hopefully we get some really good games in. I think that for Sunday afternoon, I'm feeling pretty great about these games.
Oh, I'm sure you are. We saw what you did. Okay, I was here. I had a heart attack. Okay. Screamed so loud, my microphone cut out because my microphone was like, I can't process all this signal. So I don't know if we can reach that level of hype, but I anticipate we'll get close. But yes, this is a best of 5. So, we'll be here a little bit. Don't go anywhere. With any luck, we will have as much drama, if not more, than the minor league teams that we saw last night have their finals. So, we did tell them that now that their finals are over, they are technically eligible to sub in. We haven't heard. Well, yeah, as you were saying, that is true that Yumi will eventually possibly switch from the Sivir to the Hecarim and make the Hecarim go super, super, super fast, which is a problem. And the other thing I worry about is like that with a Varus as the ADC on the other side. So Yumi gets on the Hecarim, Hecarim gets on the Varus. Varus isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
That does not sound like a fun day to play ADC. Azir has a dash, Volibear has a jump, Shin has a dash. Actually, Volibear has a couple. Well, has a go fast and a dash. But yeah, Varus has a, and Renata actually, both of them have a. I'm standing right here, and I have to stop you from doing to me bad things, because if you get near me, I'm dead.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's gonna
definitely
be.
going to be a lot of good late game team fights, and I think that's where this game is going to shine. Like I said, yeah, the Hecarim just riding around with the Yumi is going to be a pain, especially for the squishies Varus and Azir. So, but like I said, they do have this disruption. You know, Varus can keep Hecarim away as long as he's got the timing right. So it's going to be a lot of late game fights. I don't think there's much going to be going on in the early game. But yes, definitely a banger fights to come.
We can only hope. Well, we will take a quick break for that spectator delay, and we will be back with Game 1, Spectre Gaming, FFZ. Don't go anywhere. It's All right, here we go. We are into game one, and we do see the speedy action going into the top lane here from FFZ. Looking to see if they can maybe catch out Lake. Lake is in the river a little bit. Did Silver
I like
flash
this.
already? No. But they do see Lake, and Lake is going to get hand shooken. Is maybe going to get away, going to be forced to flash away. You always are happy to see that if you are the person on the other side, because now you don't have to worry about that initial flash, dash, stun, or this flash to chase you down from Renekton.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, especially from a Renekton, right? Because, you know, that could be a really dangerous level 2, level 3. The early levels is where Renekton shines, so definitely good to get rid of that flash already. And maybe Cobra can actually, you know, sustain the lane, just, you know, get to 6 safely.
Yeah. 100% what you want to be able to do is, you know, keep your global safe. If I remember correctly, the saying is you want to attack the other team's global so we can't show up somewhere else and affect the map. So already protecting their global ultimate from FFZ, but we do see some fairly standard itemization and runes to start off, except we do have the first strike for Chobin. It does show up a lot on Azir's, but Azir's can also go lethal tempo or, you know, a couple different other things. Azir is a very flexible champion. We get that good trade there from Chobin as well, taking a chunk of Kush's health. Kush should also be perfectly fine, though, to sustain through. Still has the potions, does also get a shield at some point, most likely level 3 there for the Orianna.
Yeah, the level 2 is hit for FFNC on the bot side of the map, and they can't really do much right now, but this is kind of the strength of Varus, right? He can do pretty much everything. I mean, he's got decent damage early on. He's got the poke. He can certainly poke, especially one. You know, only have to worry about one character in the lane to be poking out. Yeah, that's pretty good. And paired with the handshake, it makes a lot of sense for the anti-heal to come in on top of that. So definitely looking forward to seeing that lane being pushed up. Let's see if you know, maybe Swag wants to kind of punish this. I wonder where he's going to end up ganking first, if he does gank first.
He was spotted on the red side ward going into the to his own blue buff, so they know where he is. We do see that Manly Male Mailman is both junglers looking to go ahead and figure out what's going on with the Scuttle Crab. It is 2 buffs for the Hecarim. Not so much, already down 2 camps, but is going to have that extra smite and is going to be having the push from Chobin to help secure that Scuttle Crab. No problem walking into the jungle now to see what he can get. Is going to actually find a Gromp for his troubles. That feels good when you walk up there, your mid laner can help you out, and you get a Gromp as well, get a camp to still, and still has his old top side. You do get a little bit of trading going on in top side as well as in the bottom side, but we're not going to get to see one of them. Not sure which, but that is going to be Xerathi getting poked around the prowling projectile, slowing, hitting, doing a little damage, making life a little harder. And like you said, we see Swagasm looking to circle through, but is seen on his ward. Does clear the ward, does not finish a gank.
Oh, Kush
so
might be getting ganked.
Oh, yeah. You are correct. Behind Kush, and there you go. We see a dash. We see a stun. We see some more action going down. Kush already did use the flash, but now it's going to be Swag coming up with the reinforcements, and it's going to be FFZ deciding they'd rather not have that fight, walking away. Happy to take another flash. It was the flash from as well, but that volley bear is going to be everywhere. He's not too worried about that one.
Yeah, he's not gonna be worried. I'm surprised. You know, they're getting so many flashes very early. Because I feel like you know, we want to see the Hecarim kind of do Hecarim things, but all 3 lanes were like pushed at the same time. So there has to be a lot of good communication and coordination from FFNZ right now to say, hey, where's Hecarim? Where could he be right now? But I guess they don't know this.
He's in the bottom, and that's going to be the first blood. Going to be learning, taking it down. Actually, after a nice spell shield to prevent the handshake, and Xerathi is going to go down too. Double kill for learning. We did already see the Yuumi getting onto the Hecarim, and Hecarim able to run down the bot lane of FFZ. No hesitations. It was able to take away the flash and the heal from Xerathi as well. that's going to make life even harder because when he comes back, his ghost will be up before yours, and he will likely be level 6.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, I guess they didn't really expect that gank to come through so fast, but yeah, wasted summoners didn't really do much to keep him alive, so this is a really good start for the side of Spectre.
That it is, and the Hecarim lane gank is a famously unfun thing to deal with as a bot lane, but I mean, it's to be expected, I would think. It's Hecarim, that's what he do. He runs fast, so the second you start to push up and think you can move forward, he's going to come through from the alcove or from one of the bushes and just zoom on you. But yeah, we do get the Noon Quiver coming in. For's learning also grabbed a Cull. It's just going to be the Berserker Greaves, for Xerathi. Xerathi looking to move a little faster at least, which will help one way or the other. We already also have the finished Vandal Glass, but it's going to be a fight in the mid lane. There's going to be the scoop from Chobin, and now Manly Mailman trying to get on to Kush. Kush able to get a very nice shockwave to dissuade any further aggression for the moment, and it looks like he's going to be able to get away between the speed up and the shield and the slow. There's enough utility in that Orianna kit to make it really difficult if you don't kill her initially to catch up with her.
Right, and Mailman does not have level 6, so there was no way he was going to be able to catch up to Orianna, and that's the second time he's ganked, and Orianna doesn't even have flash, so that was a really big, dupe from them, and that allows Spectre, if they really wanted, to take this first dragon, but we see a lot of good vision coming out from the side of Fantastic Four and Xerathi, and if they do decide to contest it, I'm not really sure who's going to end up the victors, as we still have yet to hit level 6 on either Hecarim or Volibear.
That is true, and they both have their first component. Very important. We do have the Bomby Cinder and the Sheen for both of them, so they're going to be extra tanky or extra damagey, depending on which one you prefer, but it is going to be fully finished boots for Hecarim, which is the contrast and the benefit from those 2 assists, not any boots on Manly Mailman. So if Hecarim starts running, we'll be able to get away and or get onto whatever target they choose. But looks like it's going to be Spectre Gaming looking to start. Maybe starting. Yes, finally starting this here dragon. They are, of course, spotted. There is still the vision from the scuttle. So they are going to maybe... they're not worried about that. They're going to be the... everybody onto everything, and that's going to be the taunt going down, as it's going to be crit stuck off of someone and dying. Cobra with a very nice stand united to make sure that the engage on to drop the Chalupa never came through, and that's going to be the Hecarim out going out and the dragon going into the pockets of FFZ.
Yeah, they have to be wary of the ultimate coming out from Shen. I mean, it was a good read from FFNZ, because they were like, okay, well, I mean, we still have Shen's lane pushed, so we don't really have to worry too much about this resource being spended, and that's pretty much a free dragon and a free kill for FFNZ.
Yeah, and then Cobra teleports right back to top lane, is able to get some grass procs, didn't really lose anything in the initial fight. Just got an assist and actually did wind up having to use the flash as well to get that nice taunt flash. But there we go. We get another scoop on the Kush, and Kush is going to flash over, but Manly Mailman is going to come right with them this time. Has the flash to go with it. That's going to be the shockwave to keep Chobin out of the fight. And we don't get to find out as there's a fight going on top lane as well. Lake and Cobra. And it's going to be Swagasm actually getting the kill. Comes in a little bit faster. Does have the Yuumi on him. Like I said, that Yuumi Hecarim. Like you said, that Yuumi Hecarim, like anyone who's ever played this game said, the Yuumi Hecarim. Oh my gosh, I hate that. I hate that so much.
Yeah, they didn't really have much to do up in the top side. It's funny because the ward was for the side of Lake, and he was a little bit pushed up. We already knew that he used the teleport already, so it was a really easy gank for Swagasm to just come up and get the kill with the Yuumi on top.
Yeah, and on top of which, Sivir, one of the better champions at being able to basically CS under tower, clear waves, be safe while not being denied access to gold and XP. So that gives a free Rift Herald as well to the side of Spectre Gaming. It's going to be on Swagasm, and Swagasm will probably be looking to make some more action, but we do get the ultimate coming out of learning there. There's going to be the hostile takeover, but it's going to hit absolutely nothing. That's going to be a fantastic Infernal Chains, Chains of Corruption, excuse me, wrong sort of chains, that are used there by Zerathai to maintain safe distance.
Oh no, Cobra.
Oh, buddy. And just like that, the return gank, here comes Swagasm, here comes all of the damage, here comes the fight. We do get this. He might get away. Nope. Just barely goes down. Needed that taunt, needed about another half a second on the taunt to be able to slide on the other side of that there tower to survive. But now it looks like it's going to be late, and Swagasm taking some plates. Yeah. He's sticking around, but I think he's sticking around just to drop the Rift Herald.
Yeah, he might take the tower here, and this is a really good play from Swagasm, knowing that Shen, hey, you're pushed up again, you don't have a ward. Oh, here we go, Kush.
Yeah, and they're finally going to be able to get Kush, maybe. Kush trying very hard. Does go down. The shield does not get there in time. The ball's still in transit, so that's going to be the kill going over to Chobin. They've only tried 3 times. If you try 3 times and you only get 1, normally that's good. 333 batting average, not the worst. But in this game, it's not working out nearly as well as the ganks that have come through from Swagasm.
Yeah, Swagasm finally putting on the pressure here in the top side. Lake is so far ahead of Cobra right now. Even despite the play down near Dragon, Cobra is failing to understand that, hey, I'm pretty sure the Hecarim is just going to visit my lane once again. And he gets punished for it. So, really good job from Spectre to capitalize on Shen not having Flash, not having Teleport, and making sure that tower falls for Lake. Lake, now on the Gore Drinker, is going to, just kind of decimate the lane from here on out.
Yeah, and on top of which is actually ahead of just about everybody in the game right now is Lake. We do not have a finished item on Cobra. We actually do see the Turbo Kim Tank coming through from Manly Male Mailman, but I would still take the Gore Drinker, even with the extra everything that Kim Tank gives, which is literally like 8 paragraphs worth of reading. That is the Leandries coming in for Chobin, though, after getting that kill, finally does have enough money to finish the first item. Zerathai's not having a good time right now. Only has the Vamp Scepter and a couple long swords, as opposed to the Kraken Slayer that just now came through for Learning. Learning probably wants those fights right now, and we do see Hecarim already on the bot side. Might be a fight that's going on, but we got Lake going into Cobra. Lake, even with the Oasis defending Cobra, able to take a solid chunk of health. Not a lot. Shin is still a tanky ninja, but still, it doesn't bode well that you can literally be untargetable for a large portion of the damage and still lose the trade that badly.
Yeah, I think it comes down to timing, right? We know that the stun can be negated by the Shen shield, or the block, and so he has to really play around that cooldown, and this is going to be probably a full-on fight here, as Shen does have the ultimate ready.
Oh no, they know that they're there, and there's going to be the hostile takeover, but it doesn't matter. Swagasm is able to go untargetable anyway, and we get dropped into Lupa, dropping the bailout as well, but it's not going to matter. No matter how many shields you put down, that's going to be a bunch of kills. Swagasm is going to finally go down, but it's going to be a maybe more. Oh no, Swagasm finally walking away. May want to go into Chobin, but decides better of it. It's going to be a 3-for-1. Spectre Gaming enjoying that fight. Yeah, they were on a ward, or they were seen walking in. I think that ward is newly placed after the fight, but they were absolutely spotted in there, and they thought they had a sneaky play. And and Swagasm just came zooming in.
Yeah, I mean that's the power of this the Hecarim, who's so big right now comparatively to the Volibear, and it was good that Lake was there as well. I mean, having that sort of damage is really going to put a damper on any plans to try to contest any of these objectives, right? If you don't have the carries ahead, well, the carries who are ahead are just going to come out on top, and that's exactly what happened.
That is true. That's it. Chobin still doing well enough. Plus getting all of that extra bonus gold. We do see again Manly Male Mailman coming to Chobin's side. It is going to be spotted by a ward this time. Going to clear the ward and then circle back to see if there's something else they can get. And now it's literally just Yumi riding with Hecarim for a long, long time. Silver solo laning, getting extra XP, already up a level, and staying even. More importantly, even in this 2v1 lane, staying even, not having any issues accessing gold or XP. What do they need to do for Fantastic Four and Zerathai? Because it is looking a little rough at 15 minutes into the game. They're already down 5,000 gold, 4,000 gold, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I think that there needs to be some sort of dive that comes through from the Volibear. I mean, that is the mainstay of his ultimate, right? You can dive whoever you really want. And I feel like since Learning is just really alone in the bot side, it'd be prime example to try to just make a play down the bot side, have the Shen ultimate just in case, because Learning is been alone for the entire time.
Yeah, that is true. That said, there are, and now being cleared, but so many wards from Spectre Gaming to protect Learning. Learning able to see anyone within a half a map of him. That's how we see Kush now trying to get away. It's going to be the ultimate from Manly Mailman going in and going back out because Lake is there now, and this is not going to be fun. A very nice pushback with the Emperor's Divide from Chobin, but I think Manly Mailman is just by himself and alone. Going to go down. Swagasm is going to get the kill again. It's going to be a hostile takeover that hits absolutely nothing from Chalupa. Ooh, that was not very well coordinated from FFZ.
Yeah, I guess they're just trying to push for Kush once again. I feel like that at this point you should just, you know, try to focus another lane, to be honest, because more than, you know, half the times that you've gained Kush, he's gotten away. So definitely looking to see maybe to, like I said, gank Learning. Oh no.
Cobra is alone, and there are 4 friends, but they're not his friends. And he is going to go down. It's going to be the ultimate coming out from Hecarim that's going to force the fear, to force him back. And now other people are getting caught just standing around. A very nice handshake from Drop to Chalupa, but Swagasm is still able to get onto it. That's going to be the Chains of Corruption as well. But Swagasm does not care. The bailout is not going to get a kill for the reset and for the heal. So now it's going to be Zerathai alone under the tower. Swagasm zooms past him with the shield and the speed up from Orianna. Yeah, this is a comp working exactly as wanted if you are Spectre Gaming.
Exactly. And you know, it's sad that Volibear wasn't able to punish any of the lanes as much as he wanted to, right? Because they actually had the push in the very, very early stages of the game. It's good for Volibear to hit 6, be able to dive repeatedly. That was kind of the idea, right? But then it just kind of fell apart when Hecarim started to go around with the Yumi. So it was, and that first dragon play also didn't go in their favor, and that's what set them up for this a massive gold lead coming out for Spectre. It's probably going to get worse from here. I do think that having those bounties is one way, you know, getting those bounties is one way to come back in this game, but it's going to be really hard. You have, like I said, you have to disrupt the enemy team, but none of these players they're not really grouping as 5 as of yet. And when they do group as 5, it hasn't, you know, bode well because the Hecarim is just so far ahead right now.
That is very true. But on top of which, when they have grouped as 5, we have very rarely been able to see 5 from FFZ. It always seems like either Chobin,
right,
or Zerathai is not quite at the fight yet when the fight has started, which may be another testament to this Hecarim being there and being able to initiate before they are ready and they are set up. But it looks like it's going to be the next dragon going over. It's going to be an Ocean Soul for you pedantic English majors or whatever. But this is going to go over to the side of Spectre Gaming. No problem, no contest, just some topside wards being put down on the side of FFZ as they are going to go ahead and concede this dragon and the tower down here as it's going to be hit by the Rift Herald. Not going to take the tower itself. Yeah, gonna need a little help, but there you go. It's gonna be Learning coming through with the rest of the wave, and the Rift Herald may get another charge. Oh no, Zerathai's gonna get caught. Oh no, takes the safe way around, thankfully. Does not pass badly Zerathai is going to live for a little bit, but it's going to be the Prowling Projectile. There are no more minions. No, there's one minion, and that's going to be the last chapter, plus a lot more, and he's going to be dead. Does not matter that there's a stand united. You can't stand united with somebody who's fell down already. And that's going to be Cobra as well, getting stuck out. Lake is going to get shuffled around a lot, and he's going to go down. There's going to be a shutdown. Cobra's able to take down the kill, and it's going to be now a double kill. Cobra is able to at least save the play on the other side, and with a fantastic hostile takeover from Chalupa, as well as a fight from Chobin, and is now trying to get on to Learning, but Learning is able to get away just too fast with the Ghost and the Flash. Learning gonna be safe, but yeah, that is gonna at least get Cobra back into the game, as well as getting some more gold onto Chobin. So technically a 2 for 2.
Yeah, not a bad start. They capitalized on splitting up the other team, right? And I think that's what made the Yuumi die in that fight. I think Zerathai did a really, really good chains to help him just try to get some sort of kill onto one of their members that were ganking him. So really good job on Zerathai. It was fortunate that 3 members were on the top side and only 2 were on, or 3 on the bot side, excuse me, and 2 on the top side, and that's what led to Cobra getting those kills. They were able to just outman them.
Yeah, that's a Chobin is actually very strong right now, and it looks like going into the next film, but Cobra having to run away very fast. Lake, the dash plus the speed up from that Yuumi, not anything to play with at all. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Lake is very strong. He did die once, but you know, Croc will probably, it looks like he's building Black Cleaver. He's going to do a lot of damage to the Shen after he gets that, because Black Cleaver, as we know, shreds the armor, and that's pretty much what Cobra is building right now. So,
and there's also a Black Cleaver on the Hecarim.
Yeah, so this is a very dangerous team fight to deal with, because this is going to allow Learning to just absolutely cripple them, and you know, especially with the boomerangs all flying around, that armor shredding is gonna really, really take a toll once it's built.
That's we of the items. Never mind, they're not going to give me a chance to talk about it. But it's fine. We do have. That was a weird sound. Did you hear the sound?
Yeah.
Like the game accepted sound.
Yep.
Okay. As long as I'm not going crazy. I heard it and I was like, wait, no. Please do not kick me out of this game. But it looks like everybody's still here and still good to go. No pauses or anything like that. Just sound bug, I guess. But yeah, we do have a 3-item Hecarim versus a 1.5-item Volibear, even if Volibear is kind of itemizing just for armor and has the chain vest with the bramble vest, basically not completing the items as he can. That Hecarim is so much bigger than the tanks that are available for FFZ, but we do see the Drabaran being started here. It's already down at 9,000 health. Yeah, that's what I assume they're looking for here, is the steal, but there's a lot of action going on. That's going to be the last takeover being used.
Oh.
Not able to go through anybody, but they are able to get the... Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. I'm super mistaken, but it's going to be Kush getting the first kill. Zerathai's going to go down to the Yuumi. It's going to be Cobra going down as well. Going to go down. There's going to be another shockwave, and it's going to be a triple kill for Kush as they are able to take all of the things they want. Hecarim running by very fast. Wanted to get on the inhibitor, but forgot there's a couple towers still left there.
Yeah, that was a clean ace. Really good bait by Kush. It looked really doomed for him at the start of that, but yeah, when you have a Hecarim who's 8-0, I don't think there's anything else you could do against the onslaught of shadows. And this is going to probably be game here if they want to really push it out. They might back and try for one more push, try to get Baron. Looks like that is what they're going to do. They're going to take all of the jungle, make sure that no resource is left untouched, and try to end this game as quickly as they can, because Hecarim still a monster in this.
Yeah, that Hecarim is likely not going to die with any of the items and any of the, I don't want to say skills, the tools, I should say. I always come back to tools. You would think I worked in like a, no collar environment, but I sit in an office. I just like to talk about tools, dad core stuff.
Right.
Yeah, there are not the tools available to kill that Hecarim right now on the side of FFZ. Everybody is likely to die if Hecarim so wills it. That said, they are going to try to clear some of this Baron Vision. Going to try to hold out. The only good thing about having those extra supers is that you're going to get some bonus gold and some bonus XP because it's going to kill all the minions for them, but not the, but you're going to have access to those waves that they basically don't. So if you can just stall out for like 10 minutes, it might make a difference.
Yeah, I agree, and I do see the line for FFNZ. I mean, they do have a really strong Chobin, but yet again, the same pattern keeps appearing for FFNZ. They're not grouped together, so when they make an engage on, for instance, the last fight was Kush, they didn't have the hostile takeover right in the middle of them. They didn't have anything to respond to this Hecarim with. They didn't have the pushback from Chobin. So,
yeah, and we do see Lake onto Cobra, and Lake is not afraid.
Yeah, not anymore.
Much like immediately walking forward, and oh no, it's gonna be Chobin getting the push in, gonna push in Swag, as we do see the hostile takeover is not going to do a lot though, and there's gonna be the last chapter. It's gonna be going out everybody. Swagasm's going to be able to go ahead and get a legendary, but it's going to be a double kill for learning, but it doesn't matter. Zerathai is going to have to run away, already used the Chains of Corruption and does not have any more protection tools. Oh no. Speaking of not having any more protection tools, there's Lake, and Lake is able to get an assist for learning. Oh no, the scumbag ADC stealing the kills, but it doesn't matter. It looks like this is going to be Spectre Gaming taking game one and not looking to be under threat at any point. There's a shockwave. Oh man, little bit of troll in there at the end, but it doesn't matter. It is going to be game one for Spectre Gaming, and not especially close. We have to wonder, what are you gonna do about Hecarim? Oh my!
Ban it. I think the only real option is to ban it or ban the Yuumi, because I mean the Hecarim without the Yuumi is such a detriment to Hecarim, but. Yeah, I think both might have to go, or maybe they have to sacrifice one of the bans that they had for, either one of those champions, or maybe just drop the Sivir and, speed doesn't really become a problem, because that was definitely a really, really great stomp coming out from a 9, 0, and 11 Hecarim, a 20 KDA. That was huge.
Technically, mathematically, it's an infinite positive.
Yeah, true.
Because there's nothing to divide that 20 by. However, you are correct that functionally it works as a 20 KDA. That said, that 20 KDA Hecarim may or may not be back for game two when we have Spectre Gaming versus Fantastic Four and Zerathai for the next game in this series. Again, best of 5. So there's still the possibility for absolute insanity. But you still don't want to miss the middle of the story, because if you come back and be like, what happened? And no one's here to tell you. Actually, we'll be here to tell you. But you still don't want to miss it. It's better to see it than to just hear me talk about it, because I'm going to say something weird in the middle about tools, and you're going to be like, I don't get it. Thank you, Tim the Toolman Taylor. It's not tool time. And I'm going to be like, yeah, but they just didn't have the tools. No, you want to see it. You don't want my weird metaphor for what happens in game 2. Watch it. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game 2. All right, we are back for game two. Fantastic Four and Zerathai against Spectre Gaming, who has alerted us all that they generally prefer just to go through the initial SG as opposed to SPG. That was what the holdup was for. We were all trying to figure out how they would like to be referred to. But we do get an Aatrox and a Hecarim ban coming out from FFZ. They said, we will not be doing that again. I did not enjoy that. And that said, we do get a Caitlyn band coming out from Spectre Gaming. They still do not want to see Zerathai on that Caitlyn at all. And it looks like it's also going to be a Yumi ban
Wow.
for FFZ. Yeah, no, they said none of that. None of that tonight. The Victor comes out for SG, not wanting to let Chobin have Victor. No, not even once, it looks like. And they are now on their last ban.
Yeah,
But
I'm
yeah,
surprised because they're letting go of the Sejuani is now banned on the other side, but they were letting go of the Syndra that was left open in the first phase. They're gonna pick up the Maokai, which I actually do like that. It forces SPG to either or SG to either do the Lucian Nami, or could be some sort of other bot lane to kind of counteract this already tanky Maokai. It's gonna be probably jungle Maokai. I don't see it going top unless it is a flex. So might do that, but good first pick nonetheless. They are gonna go with the Syndra though, as it was banned
yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Um,
Yeah,
that's
Syndra
why it
definitely
was
strong.
banned.
Yeah, that was why it was banned. And Syndra is I really like the changes. I don't know if you've played the new Syndra or not, but I enjoy the new changes. It reminds me a lot of Victor. And they are gonna pick up the Nami here. That's interesting.
Ooh, but it's gonna be the Akali for Chobin, noting that his
Yeah,
Akali is not banned. Said, okay, bet. And it's
and the
gonna be
Ornn.
the Ornn. So that is either a Maokai support or jungle, most likely. But yeah, Syndra changes. I didn't understand them all the way, and I was very worried about them because it feels like slightly less of a delete button coming out of the R, where you have to actually like be smart to know when to use it. Just not. Oh, hey, I'm level 6. Guess what? Your ADC is dead. Let's take Dragon.
Yeah, it
But
does come with its caveats, and I think it's a really good. It's very akin to Victor, where you need to apply or get some stacks, and your abilities will upgrade naturally as you progress the game. More of a mid game power spike than anything right now. It still does a lot of poke damage during the early game, but it's not as much as it was before. But regardless, yeah, we do see the new Lucian Nami. And the Syndra here for the side of SG, and you know what? It's a good pairing. It's a lot of burst damage. There is a lot of utility here for this team. And FFNZ, they're looking really tanky. They got the Sejuani band away, which would have been so perfect for the Akali and the Ornn. But Maokai will have to do, and like I said, it could go support, but I'm going to bet it's going to go in the jungle because that is just where he is pretty strong right now. Having the saprolings, making sure that entry points and exit points of objectives are secured, or at least you get a little bit of damage as you go into them.
that is true. And the extra health is always going to help the passive far better than it would when you're support because you don't have access to that health as fast. That said, real quick, we do get the Camille and the Zac bands from FFZ. As for SG, we get the Misfortune and the Lulu bands. We do have again the like uneven picks as far as who picked what where. So both teams targeting different areas of the map, but that is going to be a Trundle, which is not a fun time for Maokai or Ornn because all of your tankiness is my tankiness, plus I eat tankiness for breakfast.
Yeah.
Not fun. If you only do if you do one thing well, and there's a guy who says that's cool, I'm gonna steal that, and then I'm gonna hit you with it. Probably unhappy.
Yeah, it's going to really rely on where that Trundle goes in the early game, what kind of ganks he's setting up for his team, because
Oh my.
a Lux, okay, yeah, that might put a damper on plans here. It looks like it's going for a poke lane with the Ezreal. Yeah, it's indeed a poke lane, so they're gonna play safe for the most part. it makes a lot of sense because it looks like their top side on FFZ is where their strengths lie, right? We have Akali, aggressive, Ornn, who can do a lot of damage early on for absolutely no reason and be tanky. So I'm enjoying this kind of spread out look that they now have of where they want to put their priorities, and the
Oh,
Fiora. Wow. So SG definitely has a very aggressive team, but they don't have a lot of like maybe utility here. Nobody to lock anyone down except for maybe the Syndra and the repulsed from Fiora. So it's going to be a lot of insane early game plays I expect coming out from them to either get Fiora ahead or get their bot lane ahead or even get mid lane ahead. Either way, if anybody gets ahead on that team, it's going to be
that
rough.
that is very true. And especially if the Trundle or the Fiora gets ahead, though, with that much tankiness, that much dedicated tankiness from FFZ, one of them is just not going to be in the game if Trundle or Fiora gets ahead, and there's nothing you can do about that. I am. We have seen Lake play Fiora previously, and it looked good. It looked like the sort of Fiora you never want to see in your solo queue games or on the opponent of your favorite team. So I am very curious to see about this matchup because, like you said, Ornn does do a surprising amount of damage, a sneaky amount of damage, if you will. So we'll be able to, at least early on, trade with Fiora, but later on, not so much.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to come down to the junglers, which is also a big question mark of Malachi versus Trundle. If you don't get ahead as that Malachi, Trundle's going to eventually just start eating you, right? Am I?
Yeah, I think the plan for Maokai is just to gank as often as possible with the Twisted Advance, make sure that his lanes are doing fairly well, or even counter ganking. I think that his CC and utility is just going above and beyond what Trundle's can be, especially for the disengage, and make sure that Trundle stays away from you as much as possible. So it really depends. I'm looking at the junglers for this matchup. Even though like I think top side was definitely a point in contention for last game, I think jungle where the jungle's path to here is going to mean a lot in this game.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's going to be super interesting with just the way the lanes are set up because, like you said, there's a poke lane versus an aggressive but definitely not as ranged lane as far as bot lane is going. And then on the top side, you have two tank killers and two tanks. And then you have the mid lane, which is an assassin and a mage. If the mage actually gets picked. No, it doesn't. Oh no.
Oh, well, yeah. Mistake on the players' end. Don't worry. But yeah, I do think that it is a little bit odd that they've selected a super tanky and or engage top side of the map for FFZ and a poke bot lane, but it makes a lot of it makes clarity on where Maokai may want to put his priorities in ganking, right? Like I said, top side might be the point of contention, right? We might see a lot of Rift Herald aggression coming out from them, while we may see a little bit of bot prio coming out from SG, knowing the Lucian Nami
Is
will be able
is
to
your
push up.
client
So,
is your client a little bugged?
oh, is it? No, I'm going
I,
through the draft.
yeah, I can still see the three that they picked previously,
Oh,
and
interesting.
now I'm a little worried, but we'll find out in a second. But yeah, no, I 100% agree as well. I'm also though really curious because should a gank be successful onto the bot lane of FFZ, there's not going to be a lot of options past that. Basically, it's going to be you better land your Qs from max range because that Lucian Nami is going to be in your face and hit you for half your health before you can react.
Yeah. I do like the very aggressive Fiora Trundle. I feel like it could put a damper if Fiora gets ahead, right? Because we know Fiora is the god tier split pusher, slash like, oh, I'm just gonna get in your face and kind of whack you to death type of champion. It's gonna be really detrimental if Ornn gets super far behind of this Fiora and isn't able to 1v1 her, because the team that FFNZ have drafted, they have to have multiple people handle a fed Fiora, right? They can't just
Yes.
send Ornn up if he can't take her. And so I feel like that might be another point of contention for the junglers yet again. Looking at them, I'm curious as to where they go, what they start with, and that's going to be interesting for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what. First of all, I don't know what you can do with a Fed Fiora in any place and time and space and time.
Send
But
three or more after her.
even then, I've seen that backfire terribly. But the other issue is that didn't we see that last night? Or it was last week, wasn't it?
I don't remember, to be honest.
I'm trying to remember. It was definitely a game I was watching intently. So it was either last night or last week where I saw a Fiora that was just like, "Hey, Fiora is just killing everything and healing." But yeah, that's going to be the issue. And then with that Fiora taking all of that, the rest of your team is going to be spread thin, and the rest of their team is just going to take whatever, whenever, you know, every objective they want, every tower they want, because otherwise Fiora is going to do it. It's just leaves you in a zero-sum game of where we want to go and what we want to do as a team. But as a viewer, where you want to go is nowhere, and what you want to do is stay right here, because after the break we'll be back with game 2. You like that segue? It was magnificent.
Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn."
All right, we are back. Game 2. Fantastic Four and Zerathai versus Spectre Gaming. We do get a regular 5-point start today. No shenanigans, no fun adventures. Everybody should have their flash when they go to their regularly assigned positions. Crazy. But we do have 2 members of Spectre Gaming taking their first strike. It's going to be on Kush and Learning. We do have Crit taking... I always forget it. I want to say Astral Projection, but it's Summoner Airy.
Arcane... Oh, yeah. Crit is Airy, and then Chalupa is Arcane Comet. These are pretty standard throughout,
yes.
So nothing too crazy. Pretty standard start. Everybody is kind of starting bot side.
Ooh. But there's not going to be a leash going down for Swagasm. Instead. It's actually neither jungler getting a leash, but we do have the bot side of Spectre Gaming looking to set a little track, but it's not gonna work. Kind of smelt out there by the bot side of FFZ. Zerathai said I should be an official member of the Fantastic Four. Change him to the Fearsome Five or something. I don't know. I forget what it's officially called in Marvel when they get a 5th member, what they call themselves.
I have no idea, but yeah, it's interesting that the Maokai started on Raptors and then went to Red, now pathing upward, so both junglers kind of marrying each other without even noticing it, so love to see it.
This should be interesting. Much like last game, we may have a little bit of a kerfuffle around that first Rift Herald, but in the meantime, we do actually have the push coming out from Zerathai and Chalupa. Something we're not used to seeing is a Nami Lucian bot lane going to be on the back foot, going to have to run away. But yeah, both junglers are now on their buffs, but it looks like it's going to be Swagasm going to be finished first on that second buff. Skip the camp, looking to make a gank into the top lane. Not really going to have any action to take. Chobin getting a little bit of damage on the Kush as well, able to repay all of that orb damage that was eaten a second ago. But yeah, there we go. We do have Swagasm coming through. Cobra's gonna use the Unstoppable to get away in time, or excuse me, the dash.
Yep. And
yeah,
that was a good response. I think saving the dash to get away was the right choice. Ooh.
Yeah, did not have to use the flash, but it is a very nice route from drop to Chalupa. That hitbox was questionable. It looked a little weird on my screen. I don't know if it did for everyone else, but was able to root Learning as Learning went to go get aggressive. We do see Kush now running out of mana. Chobin looking to run them down, is going to dash in, is going to wind up taking the flash out of Kush, and is now going to try and get a fight. But we see Swagasm coming in. Is going to go ahead and get that first blood. Chobin said, if I gotta die, I'm taking one of you with you, and it's not going to be anyone dying, because now it's manly mailman in there. Make sure Chobin can go out the side door, no problem. First blood. Chobin on the Akali said, this is why you ban my stuff.
Exactly, and that was really good job from Chobin. Oh,
manly mailman getting caught by Learning and Crit, and that's going to be Crit getting the kill. Oh no, not what you want to see, but it's going to be the kill nonetheless. And we do see Swagasm now going up on the Cobra. Cobra going to be forced to flash away, go over the wall. It is on the other side of the pillar, but I don't know if it's going to matter. There's going to be a lot of people here wearing red, chasing down Cobra. What set you from, homie, is basically what they're saying. You in the wrong neighborhood. And Cobra trying to get out, but no, it's going to be Swagasm taking him down. Gets the flash bite. There's got to be a cooler name for that combo.
Flash bite.
But
yeah.
yeah, going to get the damage nonetheless. Zerathai taking a lot of damage from all of... Oh, no.
Oh.
Learning dashed right into the root and is going to go down to the ignite. Another nice bubble from Crit, but Crit needs to watch out. Looks like manly mailman coming to reinforce the bot lane now at a much more competitive early game from FFZ.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm surprised that Mailman is down here. Still has quite a few camps up. Could opt to just try to pick those up. Maybe the invade, since their backing is not the optimal path right now. And Dragon number 1 is Infernal, so I think both teams would want this, honestly.
Ooh, a very nice repulse from Lake,
Ooh,
and Lake is able to get a large amount of damage on the Cobra. Crit is not going to let Chalupa back nicely. Chalupa keeps trying to back in these bushes, and Crit said, no, I don't like that. You have already made me unhappy, and I will repay you with inconvenience. But is almost going to get rooted under the tower. So much effort put in by Crit, but does desync the backs, and Chalupa still doesn't have any mana, so is not going to be able to help contest this dragon. Yeah. So technically all that work by Crit winds up paying off because it's not going to be an even number fight around this dragon. It's going to go over to Spectre Gaming.
Yeah, and that was what I was kind of afraid of because, you know, Mailman was down there for a long period of time. Now, the bot lane didn't sync their back timers, so that is how the passage of events came to be. And fortunately for Spectre...
they're going on to Lake, though. Lake is going to riposte onto Cobra, but I don't know that there's a lot you can do there. It looks like they're trying to save the kill for Chobin, and it's going to be Chobin gonna go ahead and get that perfect execution for the kill, aptly named use of ultimate, and is just going to teleport back to mid lane. Not going to miss a whole lot, is going to get scattered, but is not weak, so unfazed.
Yeah, and that was the strength that I was identifying during draft of this topside matchup. Cobra was ganked by Trundle, and it kind of returned the favor here to over to Lake. So good to see that Chobin using the roams, using the lead that he's gotten to build those boots. And here we go again.
No. Yeah, we got Chobin and Kush versus MMM and Swagasm, and Chobin is chunking.
Doing a lot of damage, yeah.
Kush, yeah. Kush is going to have to walk away, and we do see now the bot lane coming up to reinforce Swag and Kush, because otherwise that would have not only been the scuttle crab for Fantastic Four and Zerathai, but likely would have been a kill or two. They were looking that combo together. Not anything I would want to see coming at me there. We do have, again, a little more... I can't think of the word. Skirmishing. There we go. Excuse me. Going down in the bot lane, but nothing too major. Neither bot laner has anything especially finished. We do have a tier and a sheen on the Ezreal, as opposed to just the collection of items you really like to have for learning, but nothing is finished yet. Chobin, like you said, does have the sword shoes already, is looking to deal non-magic magic resist mitigated damage currently. No one has magic resist in, so that damage hits a little harder. But there you go. There's going to be the ultimate coming out from Zerathai. Is not going to hit anything. It's going to be a very nice bubble from Crit, but it looks like nothing's going to come of it again. We get a nice scatter from Kush, able to make sure that Chobin is not able to aggress any further. But Chobin is developing a pretty solid lead here as far as the gold.
Yeah, it's interesting that I'm surprised as much as you are that Learning and Crit haven't been able to put the pressure onto this safe bot lane, but yet again, they are safe. And wow, Chobin actually taking the turret shot there, getting Kush really low. I wonder if the calls for the Maokai to come in and kind of dive this are there, but they don't.
Maybe there. It
looks like they know that Swagasm is on the Rift Herald, or at least are pinging towards it.
They know he's nearby. They know he's somewhere in there, but they don't see him. Yeah. And he walks through, and it looks like he's going to be able to get the blue buff. They're looking for him in his side of the river.
Yeah.
And he's looking for them on their side of the river. Everybody is on a covert mission, and nobody's going to get caught. Oh, man, that feels bad. Chobin, though, not getting the back off, and Kush is getting the back off. It's going to come back with the last chapter, lost chapter, too many chapters. I don't like it. Cobra is going to have just enough space to get through that pillar, and it's going to be mostly fine. Not going to take any significant or fatal damage from the gank from Swagasm there. And just like that, Manly Mailman does not have his blue buff. That... You literally have to be asking, like, when did he, how did he...
Yeah.
When was he here?
Yep, when was he here? But, yeah, good, I guess good pathing from Swagasm to understand, like, hey, like, I just saw Akali, like, kind of leave the lane, so I'm just gonna, like, try to go in the jungle, see what happens, maybe get away, maybe steal buff. and
Yeah.
gets away with it scot-free.
Yeah, that said, there is better vision on the top side for Spectre Gaming. Granted, the vision just literally expired. All the words that were put up there to protect Lake as well as see if they could get some action onto Cobra has all gone away as they're now looking to path onto the bot side for this dragon that should be coming up here in about 30 seconds. It's going to be a Mountain Drake, which, I mean, both teams, everybody benefits from a Mountain Drake, but the team with all the tanks really likes the Mountain Drake. With that said, we get the fight. It's going to be another nice root. Drop the Chalupa, able to survive. It's going to get knocked up, and it's going to get bubbled up and knocked up, and it's going to be learning getting the kill. But do you see Chobin coming in? Chobin is nothing nice. All bad intentions, and it's going to try to kill Learning. Finally going to get kill Learning, but it's going to be a return kill from Swagasm with the shutdown gold as well. We do see Zerathai trying to get onto Swagasm as well, but is going to be able to get away, so it's going to be a 1-for-1.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we do get the ultimate being used up here by Lake. Cobra trying to get away, but I think he's going to get that last one. Oh, but it times out, and he's going to be fine. It's going to be both ultimates used with nothing gained. And we do see Swagasm trying to get away now from Manly Mailman and Zerathai. They are trying to chase him down. Crit able to get that nice ebb and flow to make sure it is fine. It's going to be a whole lot of flashers, but nobody dies in the secondary fight.
Yeah, that was so I want to go back to what happened with Chobin. I feel like that was a little bit of a misplay, right? Because he left Crit alive, and could have easily killed Crit. The exhaust came through at the right timing from Learning, so that's what managed.
Oh, yeah.
Push
has to flash away.
But might have been able to get a whole triple there if he had estimated hey, I've got a lot of damage, but I can't tank any much more damage because of that Trundle.
Ooh. That return damage from Learning, though, is not fun.
Yeah.
Lake trying to get onto Cobra. Cobra just running away. Is down a significant amount of CS, but does get reposted and taken down. There you go. That final hit, as well as the added damage from the Divine Thunderer that was just finished. Just enough to get the kill there. We do see the ultimate coming out from Zerathai, able to get some damage on the crit, but not a lot. Looks like it was just basically a mana burn to go ahead and get a back off. But that said, that's going to be, again, bad timing from the bot lane of FFZ when it comes time for this dragon to be up, because if they do spot the Zerathai back, that should be a free dragon when they notice that I don't think it matters. They're going to force this play on the dragon. They're going to drop the Rift Herald bot lane first, and now the Rift Herald is going to strike while we have Swagasm looking to run down here. Is going to be spotted, though. Manly Mailman's going to look to answer. Going to go ahead and drop the Nature's Grass, force everybody back. Very well done answer from FFZ, and they are actually going to have now the inside track on this dragon.
Yeah, this Prio is kind of going back and forth right now. I mean, that was a huge ultimate cooldown, used. So
Lake is on the Cobra again. Cobra does manage to get under tower. Lake not willing to risk it quite yet. We do see Chobin able to land the Shuriken on the Swagasm, but not going to follow it any further. That said, Lake not really concerned. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, we've hit that point.
Yep, we have hit that point, and that means that top tower is going to be pressured, and they might get the dragon here, because it looks like FFNZ have kind of forfeited Prio down in the bot lane. Israel backed, and now the positioning is kind of wonky coming out from FFNZ.
But they looks like they're able to at least put enough pressure to force them off. That said, MMMM loses 90% of their health. Not going to be able to contest this dragon either. But Ezreal is back. Ezreal was out of mana previously, but Ezreal is back. I think Chobin is now aware that Kush does not have anything, and it's just going to try to run them down. There we go. We get the perfect execution and the shutdown gold. It's going to be Chobin taking the kill. That is a 0-2-0.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness, I thought they were going to steal it with the two ults, but they do not. Zerathai and drop the Chalupa. Very nice try. Zerathai taking a lot of damage there. Does get knocked up by the tidal wave as well. We do see MMM in the background, still hanging around, able to heal up a solid chunk of the gold the health, with the smite plus the jungle camps, and Chobin looking to roam down, but nothing's going to pop off. They are going to be taking a dragon on the side of Spectre Gaming with nothing else left to do. But yeah, there was no Rift Herald charge there, so that is true. FFZ was able to prevent that Rift Herald charge before the whole dragon.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
I mean, it's still interesting because Spectre is 2K gold up. They do have a very strong top side. I mean, this Fiora is going to be an absolute menace if she continues to take out Ord over and over and over again, and there's no answer.
I think it's going to turn into Fiora versus Akali as far as who's either going to dictate or win the side lane. But we do see Kush coming down now. Zerathai able to dodge out the Scatter of the Weak, is able to also walk far enough away maybe to not get hit with anything. Oh my goodness, drops the Chalupa now taken down under 100 health, but is able to survive. That unleashed power just did not have all the power it needed. We do get the ultimate coming out, the second ultimate coming out, just making sure that everybody is not only aware but not safe when they're backs. I do like the combo that keeps being deployed there by FFZ. At some point that's going to be a problem. Not quite right now, but this is a problem. Swagasm going to be forced to flash away. Chobin not worried, going to flash right behind him, trying to get this kill, going to use the perfect execution, going to get the kill after using the shuriken, get another shutdown goal. That's 2 straight shutdowns. It's an extra 400 gold, 350. You're not sad about that ever. And they are now back onto the Rift Herald.
Yeah, I mean, Chobin is extremely large right now, and there's not really an answer to it. I mean, we haven't seen Kush kind of try to put some pressure onto them. Maybe learning in crit cam.
Walks right into the bubble. Is now in the smoke screen. Is going to be okay. Able to dash away a little bit, but that is going to be learning, making some magic happen. We do get both ultimates from the... Oh my goodness, so many ultimates, but it's going to be Zerathai going down to Kush. It's going to be Cobra trying to chase down Crit and learning now, as we saw the tidal wave able to not knock up, but just suspend the movement of Chobin long enough for the kill to come through. Did Learning get the kill? Yeah, Learning actually got the kill, did get the shutdown go to their own, not going to the support this time. Good, so Learning very happy that the second time they flash forward for a kill actually get rewarded for it.
Yeah, that was really good from Learning and Crit there to get that shutdown. To identify that nobody else was there to help them, help Chobin get away.
That said, they did get the Rift Herald, which was the initial mission for FFZ. So they are at least having that, going to be able to likely pressure a tower somewhere at some point, hopefully. Because they have not been able to really get anywhere with their tower movements. We already have all 3 outer towers, down for FFZ.
Yeah,
because of the pressure.
Yes, the Rift Herald, I mean, it's not going to do a whole lot except for like a turret that's almost dead to take it out once and for all, but they just don't have the map tempo right now to place it anywhere. Maybe, I mean, you're looking at Lake Top, who is extremely strong, can probably 1v1 Chobin right now, or even 2v1. So
I don't think we're gonna get to find out because it looks like it's gonna be Lake and Swag versus Chobin.
Yeah. And then Dragon number 3 is coming up. This is a Cloud Soul, and you have to drop it somewhere to put pressure, but there's not a lot of places you can do that. I mean, you can't place it in mid. Learning and Crit are just a monster of a duo right now because Learning got that shutdown, now has a Gale Force, now has the last Whisper, is doing a lot of damage now. And Kush, on the bottom side, did pick up that kill onto Zerathai, so he's now becoming a problem. It just seems like the tempo, the pace of the game for Spectre is in their way.
Yeah, that is 100% true, and you see that the waves are being collected on the FFZ side of the lane, even when it's like an even wave, because they can't contest in the wave. They have to let you clear, and then they clear what's left over, which is going to be a problem. But we do see Drop the Chalupa able to put down a little bit of damage on the Swagasm. Is going to put him down about a third of his health, taken there between the root, the ultimate, and the auto. But Lake is going to go ahead and say, I'll take most of this tower. I'll take that trade every which way, every day of the week, and is going to go ahead and try to hit on the Cobra. Going to get a little bit of damage, get that riposte off, but it doesn't really matter as much as the pressure that's being applied. Lake, 2 levels up, half an item up, absolutely unafraid. Cobra said, okay, I'm not afraid either. We can be not afraid together. Trying to get the kill, is going to force out the flash. Going to get it.
Okay.
Wow. Cobra said, not afraid. You can see me if you want to, and now it's gonna teleport into this here fight for the dragon, and it's gonna be the dragon going over to FFZ. It looks like, but Chobin is gonna pick the fight in the bot side. He's gonna be able to take down. Kush is actually gonna be taken down by Zerathai. Zerathai gonna be able to get the kill. That's gonna be Crit again, getting the kill onto Chobin. Chobin now out of the fight. Cobra super low. Manly Male Mailman also super low. Going to be able to get a root on the learning, but that's gonna be all, and it's gonna actually be a double kill for Crit. Oh, wow, that did not go how I thought that would go. That didn't go how I saw it in my head.
Yeah.
And Zerathai's gonna go down. Crit gets it again.
Definitely a back and forth for sure, and it just proves to show that yes, even when behind, I can still do things as Ornn. But the problem was with that TP was he didn't have anything after that, right? He didn't have the Call of the Forge God. He didn't have much health or mana to be able to sustain the tank that they wanted in the bottom side of the map. So when he came down there, it was like, yeah, we got the mana advantage, but unfortunately, learning and Kush doing a lot of damage, Swagasm as well, and I think the gold difference just shows that.
Yeah. On top of it, they put a lot into killing Kush, and the whole time I'm learning to just kind of, I don't want to say free because you always have to be aware. No, drop the tool, but just gonna go down. It's gonna be an unleashed power, going to unleash a whole lot of power. That is a void staff that has now come through for the Syndra, and well, drop the chalupas down in the void. No way around that. But yeah, they put a whole lot into killing Kush, and learning and Crit were able to do a lot in the meantime. Crit getting all the heals, all the shields.
Yep. So now it's kind of a Baron angle for the side of Spectre. They could opt for it if they wanted to. Honestly, they have a super far ahead gold lead. They have the soul point pressure. So either objective that pops up, they can put pressure on and make sure that they get it. Ooh,
learning, dashing forward into Zerathai, gonna go ahead and use the ultimate as well. And Zerathai is just gonna go down. No chance of being saved. We do see the Nature's Grasp being used for Manly Male Mailman, and they are able to get a lot of damage on the Crit. Crit is gonna be forced to flash away. There's gonna be Chobin trying to get the kill on the Crit. Is going to get the kill on the Crit. That's a 700 gold shutdown, but it's gonna be Learning getting a kill on the backside, able to take out drop the chalupa. Learning is going to go ahead and get a double kill, take out Manly Man Mailman as well. Chobin now trying to get away from Lake. Lake is going to chase him over this here wall and going to likely get the kill. Going to finish him off, and now it's going to be Cobra not having a good day, and it's going to be an ace, a 2 for 5 ace there. It is the top side and jungle of Spectre Gaming, able to carry the fight after Learning and Crit. We're basically able to like 2v4 for most of that fight.
Yeah. So yeah, Learning is super far ahead now with the Lord Dominic's regard, can absolutely crush any of these tanks. And yeah, it's just the gold lead is increasing further and further for Spectre. They're looking really good for this Baron coming up.
They are. The other issue, of course, being that the itemization is, the gap is very, very large. Basically all the way around the map, not just on Learning. We do have the 2 item support for Crit as opposed to the 1 item support for Zerathai. Of course, the extra BF sword and Cloak of Agility in the bot lane there. We have the already going into the death cap. This is about the evenest one we have, is the mid lane between Kush and Chobin. Both of them look like they're moving into the death cap. Push a whole needlessly large rod ahead. It's also up like 60 CS. What the heck? I didn't even pay attention to that. That is my fault. But we do have the Hydra and the both Hydras, excuse me, a Ravenous and a Titanic for Lake and Swagasm. So they are both going to be able to not only use that Divine Sunderer to eat through these tanks, but also going to hit them in a cone in case they're standing beside each other. Which again, we don't even have a finished Bomby Cinder item from Manly Male Mailman, and while we do have the Forge Fire Crest coming through for Cobra, still doesn't have the finished well, We're going to come back to that because it's going to be the Call of the Forge God being used. They are trying to chase down Lake. Lake is going to be perfectly fine. We do have Chobin going on to Kush on the other side. Also going to miss the Shuriken, so not going to be able to go ahead and get the kill, the damage, the anything. And in the meantime, the mid lane is just getting rushed down by 3 members of Spectre Gaming. This is not what you want to see. Chobin now fighting Swagasm. Swagasm may be able to get away. Is going to take a lot of damage. There's going to be the Grasping Roots. There's going to be the Scatter of the Week, and it's going to be Zerathai. Looks like it's going to go down. Kush is going to get the final kill. Mailman is going to get knocked up, and it's going to go down as well. Double kill for Kush, and oh no. Blake is on the backside. Drop the Chalupa is going to go down. Triple kill for Kush. Cobra trying to get away is looking like we'll get away. Maybe nope. Lake is going to be able to dash over that wall, get that kill, and that's going to be 4-4-0. It's going to be a Baron or a
both
inhibitor, or
all three. All three.
Why choose?
Yeah, why choose when you can do all three? That was almost a clean ace, and you know, like I said, the gold lead is almost 10k at this point. They now have Soul, they now have Baron. This looks like the end, and you know, as much as it's good to have Chobin, you know, carry all the kills on their team.
Oh, Lake wasn't even hitting it. I forgot. I was like, oh no, it's getting close, maybe, and then it was like, oh wait, there's a whole extra member.
Yep. It's hard to say how FFZ can come back from this because they're just so far behind. They don't have much in terms of scaling right now. We still have yet to see a 3-item Ezreal, and ornaments slowly. You know, coming through, but it's rough. The game has to last at least 10 minutes more. At least needs to last through this Baron, which I don't think Spectre are gonna let that go through.
Yeah, and we actually said this last game because it came kind of to a similar point where it's like, oh, if you can just do blank and come online, I think what they need is the rest. Oh no, doesn't matter. Manly Male Man is gonna get stunned up. It's gonna get hit up and gonna disappear. Oh my goodness. That's a tank. That's supposed to be a tank.
Yep. Supposed to be.
You're supposed to at least have to hit him a few times. Just deleted. Cobra now fighting Lake. Lake trying to get that final grand challenge proc go off. It's not going to go off. We do have the Call of the Forge God coming through. Cobra going to be able to hit Kush. Kush is going to go golden at just the right time. It's going to go down though. Chobin gets a 900 gold shutdown, and now we see a fight between Chobin and Lake with the rest of FFZ trying to come through, but it's going to be Lake going to get a riposte onto something. Chobin is trying so hard. They have trying to get the vision, but it's in the meantime the bot side. Oh my goodness. The bot side, no problems at all. They're going to be able to take the tower and the inhibitor, and that's going to be Chobin actually going down. Learning turns around like, oh, hey, buddy. Oh, man, and Orin gets chewed through. That Lucian is so big. Absolutely unworried by these tanks. And that's going to be dropped. The Tulupa going down as well. The triple kill for Learning. Learning trying to stay alive. Going to get a quadra kill. Flashes for the pentakill, but doesn't get it. Zerathai just able to stay alive. Lake also gonna flash it and die. Somehow, Zerathai was gonna taunt them all onto the fountain, which was, you know, probably a better strategy than we saw for the last 5 minutes there from FFZ. But it is going to be a win in Game 2 from Spectre Gaming. Yet again, able to make it look not as hard. A little harder than Game 1. But not as hard as it maybe should have been.
Yeah, I do think a lot of the game plan for the side of FFZ was difficult from the beginning because of how the bot lane was. We did expect Lucian and Nami to like be the aggressors there, and that can allow for Manly Mailman to go down there and kind of cover for them. But I was expecting a lot more from the top side, and what really happened was in the mid lane, right? We saw a lot of mid lane skirmishing happening. That's how Chobin got so far ahead. But even with that lead that he got, there wasn't a lot he could have done when the Fiora was never contested, really. So yeah, it unfortunately it ended with the Fiora kind of dominating over Ornn, and that's scary, like we've said this entire time. So.
Yeah, so the other thing, though, that we've seen from Spectre Gaming, which if I'm playing against them is even more worrying, is so Game 1, Swagasm was basically just running over everybody. But game two, Swagasm, I mean, still went 2-1-11. Absolutely great score, but was not like the key murder machine in the overall winning factory that is Spectre Gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another thing where you have to be like, okay, well, last time it was Swagasm on the Hecarim. This time it was learning on the Lucian and Lake on the Fiora. Yo, what are we gonna focus? What is the what is the focus point if
solution?
you're FFZ? Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the thing as well. I think there was a switch in the game. Like, we saw that Kush they decided, hey, let's change up the lane assignments. Let's send Kush down to combat Zerathai, who was already pretty far behind, and send Learning and Crit mid lane, right? And that's where we started to see Learning and Crit kind of taking over Chobin. We saw that Kush got the kill onto Zerathai, a solo bolo, and then we leave Lake and Swagasm up in the top side to repeat gank Warren and mainly Mailman, and that was just it. That was the thing that they needed to kind of fix the slight mistakes that they had. That's how Kush was able to come back into the game, because he was 0-2 at some point. And once they switched to the lane assignments, that's where Kush started to do well. Learning and Crit started finally make an impact in the game. Learning was at least 2 items in, and the game kind of just changed around from that.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you are correct. Kush was not having a fun game. And then like it was almost like when they finally got to set up for fights, Kush, well, I think what happened was, remember, it was the dragon fight where Chobin targeted Kush and
Yeah.
Crit and Learning just went nuts. And so then they didn't target Kush anymore, except it didn't matter by that point. Crit and Learning were so strong that there was just more damage to go off if you didn't target Kush.
Yeah,
That's-
and I think that allocating the resources topside was the way to go with mainly Mailman trying to shut down Fiora, trying to do something against the Fiora. Like I said, was not contested, and I feel like that would have been probably the best bet because as we saw, the mistakes that were made from mid lane and bot side, right? We saw the Prio go over to Zerathai and Chalupa for most of the game. So all you really had to worry about was the Fiora early game. And then when they switched and then they fixed up the top side, Fiora started to get ahead. It was just over from then.
Pretty much. That is very true. I do want to say, and this is one of the things I actually talk about with people in my elo that they don't quite understand, is that a small thing can be a big thing. You just don't know when it is, so don't make these small mistakes. So the backs that got switched up, got disconnected from FFZ, wind up leading to 2 different dragons not going over. And that becomes a problem later in the game. So, like, again, you're not thinking about it the first back. Oh, well, Ezreal's out of mana. Oh, the Nami won't let me back. Yeah. You get disconnected, but now you've given up a dragon. And then the second time, something similar happens where they force you out right before the dragon. But you can't contest. But now you have to contest every dragon from this point on because of these little things that you weren't really vigilant about.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
It doesn't seem like a big deal in the moment, but in this game, like, nothing happens in just a vacuum. So if you can be as clean as possible, it will allow you to be able to go back and contest these dragons and maybe win these fights a little easier. And maybe it's not a 3 dragon. And again, I don't know how much of a difference it makes, but it's something. One less dragon, especially one less mountain drake in that instance. Maybe you finish those kills you couldn't finish, and the whole game is different.
Yep.
But that's just kind of how I think of it, where it's like it's a lot of little things, but they all go together to make the puzzle. That was game 2. That Spectre won, and we will be back shortly. Sorry for my lecture and my detour, but we will be back shortly for game 3. Fantastic Four and Zerathai versus Spectre Gaming. Don't go anywhere. All right, we are back. We are back with game 3. Spectre Gaming, Fantastic Four, and Zerathai. Yeah, I guess I'm saying it wrong, saying it right. Sorry, there's been a lot of discussion between games, between the teams themselves about how to pronounce and say their names, etc., etc. But we still get that Caitlyn ban. Doesn't matter how you say it. Zarathai, Zerathai, Zillion.
I think it's Zerathai, but
Still not playing Caitlyn, regardless.
yeah, still not playing Caitlyn. No Aatrox still.
Yeah. Lake, which is if you tell me I'm mispronouncing Lake, okay, I'm just what have you. But also not gonna get to play Aatrox, and Victor is not gonna happen for Chobin either. So yeah, similar bans. Yumi still getting banned out here. They're going fast now. I think they all know what they kind of want to aim for or aim against. But yeah, ooh.
Okay.
Spectre Gaming gonna ban the Maokai. I didn't think the Maokai was that important, but they must think so, and they are not going to risk seeing it again. I do wonder what is going to be the first pick. Is it going to be a Hecarim? Is it going to be something else here? No, it's not going to be a Hecarim from the looks of things. FFZ said no, thank you. I still don't want to see that. I'd rather deal with other problems. And it's going to be the Sejuani that's now up, though.
I was about to say, because, I mean, it's kind of feast or famine. Blue side seems to be the good side when it comes to these games. And, I mean, when you leave something up, it's bound to be taken, especially if it's a priority pick, right? It's like Sejuani, and Sejuani pairs really well with melee champions that are in mid lane and top lane, so... and we've seen that in the previous game with FFZ, but they just had a lot of interesting decision making skills and things like that. So was a lot to think about, but maybe they have a plan for this game that might bode well for them. As Misfortune Trundle, pretty good start.
Yeah, not bad at all. That they both deal well with Trundle. Or not with Trundle, excuse me, with Sejuani. So, should be okay there.
Yeah, and let's see what they pair it up with, because they have a lot to choose from, right?
And Sejuani is also even though primarily a top laner now, is also flexible. But we get the Sejuani and the Ashe. It looks like it's going to be a Freljord combo with the Heimerdinger. Let's go!
All right, seeing the bit of Worlds gameplay right here. Look at the Ashheimer. It's traditionally just a poke lane and a push lane, so all you really have to do is sustain the lane and make sure you don't get ganked, and you should be fine. Meanwhile, on the other side, Misfortune paired with Seraphine and or Sona might be a really good start to kind of poke outpoke, or even shield up yourselves for that poke. So... looking good so far on both sides. I don't think there's anything too out of the ordinary here.
That is true. The one thing I do dislike about Sona is so easy to kill, even more so than most other enchanters. Whereas, they have the possibility for living. Sona can just get slowed and be slowed to death. You may not even have to use your stun or your ultimate if you're Heimerdinger or Ashe. That said, we do have a Syndra and a Camille band coming out from FFZ. Not wanting to see that Syndra again, entirely understandable. Once she came online, still had the delete button. It just took a little longer to figure out where it was on the keyboard. On SG, they are going to ban out the Akali and the Ornn. So still targeting some of the champions we saw last game, even if last game did not go well for FFZ.
Yeah, FFZ, I mean, SG just want to pretty much say, hey, we're going to limit your champ pool, even though these champions, they're strong, but hey, we got to limit it somehow. Woo. And Yone being
picked.
Yone. Yeah, that's some crazy things. I really like this angle because it makes a lot of sense with a immobile bot lane that SG have. And that's kind of going towards what the Sona pick was for, right? Because they already show an immobile bot lane, and Sejuani can't really reach the back line too well. Has to get through, a front to back sort of style. So Sona, it makes a lot of sense here, but SG might be able to pick something that might be able to get onto the Sona, onto the Misfortune. Unfortunately, the Atali is already banned, so
We get a
Gangplank.
Gangplank here. Is this
That
gonna be
really good.
a jungle Sejuani, or is this
Yeah.
gonna be a mid plank?
Well, I guess we'll find out very soon as the last pick goes through. I expect it to be some sort of AP, maybe an AP bruiser, AD bruiser. Yep, like Silas. Silas. I was thinking Silas because I mean that just makes sense. You have a melee mid laner, a melee top laner. Can also help the Sejuani, and this composition that SJ has brought is really really good. I'm just worried that the Yone might put a damper on things. I mean, we know that both top laners are scaling champions, unless it's Yone mid.
I mean, no, it's Yone mid and Lilia
It's Yone
top,
mid, so
or Lilia mid and Yone top. Actually,
could
now
be,
that
yeah.
I think about it,
It could be
Oh
either
my
one.
goodness.
We'll have to see for
There's
the
a-
client
there-
draft.
there's actually a lot of flexible options on both teams. So I am really wondering which laning matchups we're gonna see for the solo lanes. Technically, we haven't seen it in about a year, but technically, Silas can also jungle. So it could be some shenanigans.
Yeah, we haven't seen it in a while, but it also did get nerfed pretty heavily, so that's why we
That
don't
is
really
true.
see him anymore. But yeah, it might be a possibility, but I do think that Silas is traditionally really good helping out the Sejuani. Sejuani wants to be around the map, I think, as much as possible, and that's where the synergy between the top lane and the mid lane come through, right? Because Sejuani works well with those, and we kind of saw this from FFNZ last game, where they just all dogpiled top. Might be the same situation here to help out the Gangplank, make sure he scales, and Silas always wants to be in skirmishes. So it's definitely a reason for Sejuani to be in the jungle. We'll find out very soon here, as it looks like Gangplank is going to be picked for the top side for Spectre. So that
Ooh,
is,
and it's gonna be the Lilia.
it's going to be the Lilia. So I think that's a fair matchup. Lilia tends to do fairly well into melee champions. Traditionally, it's more like, okay, it's either Yone or Lilia, right? I don't think Trundle would want to face either one of these characters, simply for the fact that he tends to do well when he's roaming around the map, creating pillars that are impactful and forcing flashes out. So definitely good to see this. I don't know if the kind of composition they drafted is very mid to late game, right? We don't have a strong front line on FFNZ, but we do have a lot of damage, right? So it's getting these lanes ahead, and that's what the Trundle wants to do here.
That is true, and the Gangplank orange you will still be stuck and have to walk around that pillar regardless of if you are no longer CC'd or not, for lack of a better way to put it. So is still very useful into Gangplank, possibly more useful than a lot of junglers who just have one CC ability. But I really like this because I feel like both teams said, okay, we're going to go hard. We're going to go with some stuff that we just want to see if we can. And that makes me very happy in my innards.
In your soul?
I was going to say in my soul, but then I was like, well, maybe not in my soul. It's not like, it's not like warm mashed potatoes. It's not like, that girl you sent a risky text to text you back. But it's like a level above that, right? It's not like I think you're cute too, but it is like, oh man, what'd you do with this hamburger? So like, in my inner.
All right. Well, I got a question for your inner.
Yes.
Who's gonna take this game? This is match point for Spectre. Do you think they're gonna take it?
I actually. So I think Heimerdinger Ash just absolutely wins bot lane because Sona gets stunned or slowed one time and there's no Sona. I think Yone can win mid lane, but I can't say I've seen this matchup a lot. Lilia and Gangplank, I think, is a who does what to who. I don't know. I don't even know if they ever touch each other.
Okay.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I think FFZ takes it. I think they're not going to go quietly. I think we have seen between the games we've seen through the regular season and through what we saw the gauntlet last weekend, we have seen enough drama that no one's just going to go without making something crazy happen first.
Well,
So I think it's going to be FFZ.
I think that Spectre are going to take full force with this composition that they've created. It's very, very good. I think it scales really well. It does really well in the early game. I think they're going to take it and make it the second 3-0 that we've seen, as yesterday was a 3-0. So, yep, that's it. That's all I got.
Well, we will find out very, very shortly. Slight delay, a little bit of a break, but then we'll be back with Game 3. Spectre Gaming, Fantastic Four, and Zerathai. And there's definitely going to be some fireworks because there's actually not a lot of beef on both sides, just a singular tank. So, yeah, everybody's killable. So don't go anywhere. All right, here we go. Game 3. Spectre Gaming, Fantastic Four, and Zerathai. And we do see a little bit of something going on here. Looks like it might be an invade.
30 seconds.
Crit not seen. So they are trying to get on the Manly Male Mailman. Manly Male Mailman is going to flash. I think he was just outside of the hitbox, but playing it super safe, very smart. But that's going to be the flash out of the jungler for Fantastic Four and Zerathai. An ignominious start. That's a big word. It means bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but, you know, this is the last game, right? It could be potentially the last game. So you have to be really on your toes this game, and we do want to see Chobin pop off again like his last game, but oh, here we go.
Oh no, here we go. Another fight. Looks like it's going to be Chalupa and Learning into... Yeah, Chalupa and Learning taking all the damage. Crit and Zerathai walking away laughing. I think you take that. The damage was onto the ADC if you are FFZ, but Crit playing this here, Heimerdinger is going to be able to like deal more damage than the average support would. Able to also secure some of that gold there, dropping the top turret down, and it's immediately able to take a chunk of Chalupa's health as well. We do see a fight going on mid lane. We have Chobin and Kush, level 1. Let's get it on. Flash is coming out. Kush is flashing. And it's going to be first blood onto Chobin. Chobin able to take it down. Zerathai also taking Learning super low. Crit also taking a ton of damage. Yeah. FFZ is not here to wait it out this time. It looks like they decided that they just want these fights. Chobin already using that Soul Unbound as well. Got level 2 and is immediately looking to get more aggressive. Kush does teleport back into lane. Obviously did not have any items to use, but that is going to be a nice little barrel chain there from Lake, able to take a chunk of Cobra's damage. And there you go. There's a... Ooh, yeah. Chalupa takes like a quarter of their health. That's what I was talking about. Like, Sona is so squishy. If you get... You don't even have to get the full stun. If it's a turret plus a grenade in the, like, slow field, she's going to take so much damage just because of the nature of the champion. That said, we do see Cobra fighting on the Lake. Lake able to, again, get that good old-fashioned barrel damage on the Cobra. Cobra basically being like, hey, I'm good, and then Lake being like, no, actually, you're not. I would like to take some of that health, please. But bot lane has stabilized, and it is fairly even. No summoners have been used, so you're not too sad if you are Spectre Gaming. We do have Manly Male Mailman on the bottom side looking. I think they were able to spot out Swagasm, but they didn't back off in time. Swagasm looking to get that Arctic Assault is going to go ahead and get onto Zerathai. Zerathai is going to get stunned, is going to use the cleanse immediately, going to flash away as well. And now we see Manly Male Mailman coming back through. Swagasm able to get a solid chunk of damage, and it looks like it's just going to be the 2 summoners used by Zerathai as well as the exhaust used by Drop the Chalupa. That is still preferable. Now Crit is stuck in a bad place, and yeah, that's going to be a kill for Manly Male Mailman. That their pillar, it doesn't matter how much you can maybe move. If it traps you by that wall like that, you're just there. And it's going to be the Ignite used by Crit, but that Ignite did not get anything. Again, these barrel chains from Lake are very, very good.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that Crit decided to try and kind of go back in there. Because, like, they had already used all their abilities. I mean, Swagasm already had left. Chobin here, no, it might be ganked.
Yeah, it looks like is going to get ganked. Chobin also not really CSing all that well. Lake getting on the Cobra now. Cobra going to be able to walk away, spin away, swipe away, however you want to call it. Not going to go down, but we do see Learning onto Zerathai. Going to flash on, get a lot of stuns. It's in the middle of that minion wave. Going to be a flash out of Crit. Oh, he's so low. 15 HP. Oh my goodness. But yeah, no, there you go. Swagasm was able to take Chobin down on the other, not side, I guess, but in the middle. They are able to get that kill. Manly Male Mailman not able to come through in time to protect Chobin. Chobin is going to come back with the full Berserker Reeve. So we do see Cobra collecting a wave. Is going fairly even in lane through the first back, which is a marked improvement from what we've seen previously this game. Normally has been down almost a whole wave, maybe even 2 by the time you get the first back off.
Yeah, I do agree, and that's why the gold is so skewed right now. The CS numbers on the side of Spectre are just that much better than FFNZ.
Yeah, Chobin, despite getting that first blood, is down 14 CS,
Yeah.
which is, I mean,
Pretty big. That equals it out,
how?
right?
Yeah, it basically does. I mean, I don't know. First blood is an extra few hundred gold, so it doesn't all the way equal it out, but it basically equals out the worth of that kill, and then between the rest of the gold lead and then the kill that Swagasm got, yeah, you might be right. It kind of does even it out. Plus the assist. I don't know. I'm no mathematician. I'm just a guy with a microphone.
But what we
Watching.
really want to know is, you know, the aggression from learning and crit. While it has merit, they don't really have much damage on themselves yet. So.
Oh no, but we do see Swagasm looking to get on the Chobin. Chobin is going to use all of the everything. That's going to be the Soul Unbound plus the ultimate, and now we're going to see. Oh, Chobin is unable to take down Swagasm to sight. Kush stealing his ultimate. I'm not entirely sure how he. Oh, was it the Ignite? Yeah, the Ignite was still ticking the whole time, and Swagasm was kind of walking around getting hit by random things like Manly Mailman. Did get a Q off onto him and does have that there Tiamat to do some extra splash damage. So yeah, very nicely done by Chobin, able to go ahead and get that kill. But yeah, Crit and Learning are trying to get this aggression in, but you are correct. There's not as much damage as you would like. So that's Zerathai may be going down here. Is ignited, is going to barely stay alive. Is going to go ahead and get the kill. But now we see Crit onto drop the Chalupa. Chalupa taking a bunch of damage, but it is an ADC getting a kill for a support getting a kill. But like I said, Heimerdinger not a traditional support, and we have Swagasm looking to circle back around in the bot lane.
Yeah, this is gonna just push the wave in, and at least Zerathai loses the entire wave, or at least most of it. So it's not the biggest, it's not the best trade for them. Zerathai does get the kill, but I think the more important thing is, like you said, Heimerdinger does, you know, benefit from getting kills, so is building damage straight away. Yeah, it does look like they have the prio in both bot lane and mid lane, so they are gonna get the prio. Meanwhile, it looks like Manually Mailman is on the top side of the map, but there's nothing really for him to do as of right now.
Yeah, it's getting the Scuttle Crab. Looks like it's going to take some topside camps. May be able to look at the Rift Herald. We do see Chobin looking to fight on the Kush with that Soul Unbound, so he's going to snap back in a second after dealing that extra little bonus damage, but is not really doing enough to Kush right there to matter. Well, again, we do now Mailman on that top side did take a camp and is now looking at the Rift Herald. Doesn't really have anyone to come help him though. We could see Lake. Actually, it doesn't look like Lake or Swagasm is going to take any action. We do get another fight going on mid lane. Is it going to be Kush and Chobin going in? The reveal is face sealed, and that's going to be Chobin just taking him down. Chobin is playing this champion very well. Like legitimately solo kill whenever. Ult is up, Ignite is up, solo kill whenever. Is going to be fighting Swagasm. Swagasm is going to get a bunch of damage. Chobin is going to dash in. Ooh. There's going to be the Cannon Barrage, which is going to force out of the flash out of Chobin, which is very well done because it looked like Chobin plus Manly Mailman may have been able to take down Swagasm. That said, Swagasm was able to take the Rift Herald in the meantime. So an overall middle of the map win for FFZ. And yeah, Cobra playing significantly well on this Lilia in the meantime. Again, like I said, they're not really doing anything other than looking at each other and poking a little bit, but able to stay even, which is, again, far better than we saw last game, which was far better than we saw game 1. If this goes to game 5, Cobra might, you know, flamerize in Lake.
Yeah, I mean,
just the trajectory.
So the thing is, though, that yes, we do have kills on Chobin. They've been really good, but I think it's more on Kush just not knowing the limitations of the champion, right? I mean, we've seen him die.
Oh my
in
goodness!
The level...
Yeah, the forces out the grape there, the orange, excuse me, from
so
Gangplank, but very very close. Cobra landing everything, and almost able to take down Lake. Did take that tower shot. Probably kills him if he doesn't take that tower shot. Just didn't quite play that all the way right. We do have Swagasm now on the bot side looking to maybe make something happen for the bot lane. That said, we do have a Noon Quiver for Ashe. Maybe something happened here.
Yeah.
Cobra and Lake, they're both gonna walk away. They're both really low, so it's not like a foregone conclusion. But there's oh no, that's gonna be a fantastic parlay from Lake plus the it's gonna be learning, going to take a lot of damage. He's gonna use the ultimate, trying to get away, but it looks like it's gonna go down either way, and that is gonna be another kill for Zerathai. Zerathai now 2-1-1. Was it the stun from Heimerdinger? I'm not sure what quite interrupted the bullet storm.
Yes,
but
I think it was the grenade from Crit.
bullet time, I should say.
I think
Bullet storm being bullet storm is a mediocre shooter game.
But yeah, Kush and Chobin are just going at it over and over again. But Chobin wins those, right? Down the bot side, it's really good that Melee Mailman has finally decided to kind of focus down there, because as we've seen, Zerathai has not been, has not gotten the leads that they need. And here we go. Now we got the rift in the mid lane, and that's gonna help Chobin out a lot, and it's gonna get him out of lane. So they're really starting to push the pace in this game.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! And the Fate Sealed almost able to take down Kush. It's gonna be. Oh no! The tower shot's gonna follow him. So that is going to be a shutdown kill for Lake. They got super greedy. Chobin takes tower aggro, winds up going down. The cannon barrage plus the tower shot that does not care where you go. We'll see you, we'll find you, we'll kill you. The Liam Neeson of abilities, so to speak. Able to take down Chobin. But you did get the tower. Does get some gold. Does have gold. Now the shield bow ready to go. The first mythic out in the game.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of paths Chobin decides to take, because he could just help out the other lanes at this point whenever he has the Fate Sealed up. And I feel like it's really easy for him to push in roam because of just his champion kit. So we'll see if he goes top lane, because Lake now has the upper hand in this matchup.
Yeah, no. It was even, and now Lake has 2 kills, and Cobra is just going to walk it out. We do have the dragon coming up. It's going to be the second dragon. FFZ, of course, was not able to procure the first dragon, but now we do see some ultimates available. Not the Face Sealed, not the Subjugate, but just about everything else is available. That's actually only half of them. Half of them are available for FFZ, but they are going to be able to take this dragon. No, maybe some problems.
Oh, that would have been...
Yeah.
That would have been an absolute monster of a steal if that would have happened. But
Chobin did tank the empowered rockets there. Very smartly done to be able to secure the dragon. That is at best the second dragon we've seen from FFZ all series.
Yeah.
It might be the first. I'm not entirely sure. But oh my gosh. Cobra is getting hammered by Lake. He's going to need some help up there. That's it. Crit is going to have to be walking away, because Zerathai is doing lots of damage. And we do have 4 in the bot lane versus 3 in the bot lane here. And it's going to be Swagasm going to try and get a stun on the Chobin. Chobin's going to snap back. The Fate Unsealed, Soul Unbound, the Fate Sealed is still available. But now we have Kush coming in, does have the Crescendo, is going to not use it though. It's going to be the ultimate coming out. All of the ultimates coming out onto Chobin. The Chobin is still going to live. That shield bow, absolutely amazing. Learning is running away from Manly Mailman, and in the backside we have Kush trying to get on to drop the Chalupa. Chobin running interference, still doing stupid amounts of damage, trying to kill Kush. Kush is able to get the kill on the drop the Chalupa. You either got to be in or you got to be out, buddy. Woo! And that's going to be a double kill for Kush. And just like that, the advantage is gone. Kush is now stronger than things that are very strong. Cobra is able to get a kill onto Learning, but I don't know if that's the trade you really want to trade for.
Honestly, you take those, right? If you're Spectre.
Yeah.
Ooh, wait,
what? Cobra is able to get a kill. It's going to go down. It's going to be another kill for Crit. But Cobra got 2 kills on the other side. So despite not having the best laning phase now, is on the board. Gold.
But we see, yet again, the CS differences between top, jungle, and mid are so drastic. It's at least 10 to 20 CS up on their opponents. So definitely definitely we see where the gold lead is coming from, even though they don't have as much kills as FFZ.
That is true. Though Zerathai did catch that wave and even up the CS. Zerathai was just waiting on a fat wave to crash.
Yeah.
That is not to step on your point, but was not as far behind as maybe say the rest of the team, but does come back with a Bloodthirster. We do have a Kraken Slayer coming through. But yeah, no, you are entirely correct. It is still a 3,000 gold lead despite being ahead in kills and taking first tower. Yeah, that's not good.
And I mean, so the thing is that they've done these roams, right? We saw Cobra on the bot side, we saw Chobin on the bot side as well, and I mean, we're leaving Lake.
Cobra might be dead.
Yeah, maybe.
Cobra's gonna get stunned, gonna get ulted. There's gonna be the ultimate coming out. That is gonna be the Enchanter Crystal Arrow not going to land, which is gonna allow Zerathai and Drop the Chalupa to have a lot more pressure in this mid lane. That was an ultimate stolen to Lilting Lullaby, now owned by Kush. Cobra trying to get a Swirl Seed to land onto the ADC of Spectre Gaming, but it's not gonna be that easy, friend. No. I just really don't like this matchup, and I understand that Drop the Chalupa was, picked. No, he picked into this matchup. Yeah, I don't like it. I just don't like it because Crit only has to kind of land the skill shots to take a quarter of your health every time.
I will say that the Zerathai has been doing really well in this game, comparatively to the other games. So,
Chobin is on the Lake. Is going to get some damage. There's going to be the Fate Sealed. There's going to be the Ignite. I don't know if it's enough. It's not going to be enough. Lake is going to be fine. Did wind up having to use an orange. I've been doing that all night. Weird. But is going to be fine. All things considered, Chobin needed about 2 more autos to get it over there. We do see the Lilting Lullaby by Kush is able to get on Drop the Chalupa, but we do see the Crescendo come through, and Kush is going to go down. Is going to survive long enough to take down the Sona as well, but is going to die, is going to be killed by Zerathai, so you like to see that. No, actually Sona got the kill. Ooh.
Oh.
How does that keep happening?
I have no idea.
But learning is, it's going to have to force the flash over that pillar. Very well done by Manly Mailman. That's a good way to make sure that that ADC is a little more wary as we come up to this dragon fight in a minute. And by a minute, I don't mean literally a minute. I mean the colloquially a minute, as it's up right now.
Yeah, and this is going to be a very, very good 5v5.
There is no bullet time. There is no Fate Sealed.
Yeah, there's no
crescendo.
lot of ultimates used on the side of FFZ, so they really have to play this fight carefully.
Oh my goodness. No. Push trying to get on to Drop the Chalupa is able to get a lot of damage down. There you go. We do see the Glacial Prison going through, and it's going to finally be the Yone go down. Manly Mailman looks like it's also going to go out. Zerathai is down. Oh no.
Triple kill.
Cobra's able to get the kill. That is a clean ace.
That is a clean ace, a free dragon. Yeah. Now, Spectre Gaming are in the driver's seat once again.
Very, very well done team fight from Spectre Gaming. I don't know. I don't think FFZ has a lot. Well, I won't say has a lot of tools. They have very good tools. They have a very big tool, which is everybody is standing together. Chobin presses R, Zerathai presses R, Drop the Chalupa presses R.
Yeah, but they didn't have it. They didn't have it, and I feel like they didn't need to contest this dragon if they didn't have the big team fight winning ultimates available to them, right? Like, you drop the Chalupa, can literally drop their ultimate, and then Zerathai drops the bullet time right on top. Chobin follows up with the Fate Sealed. That's all you need. But they didn't have it, and that's where they just stumbled and didn't know what to do. I'm not sure what the communication would have been like, but it had to be like, hey, we don't have anything available to us. Like, we don't have these big CC abilities. Let's just wait. Maybe we can contest as they start the dragon, and maybe collapse on top of them. But instead, they just got collapsed on. Here we go again.
Drop the Chalupa. It's going to drop the Crescendo on the Swagasm. as a means to stay alive, basically, is going to be able to get away. Did not wind up having to use anything other than the ultimate. But again, and a team so ultimate dependent, having to use your ultimate defensively is almost, I wouldn't say almost, is just as bad as having to use a summoner spell. And the Baron is being started. They are going to be spotted on it. It is going to be Spectre Gaming looking to make some magic. We do have Chobin on the side. He's going to use the fate. Soul Unbound. Fate Sealed. That it doesn't matter. Baron Nashor's going to go down. So is Chobin. And we do have Kush on the backside. Is trying to get stuff off. Is going to get away. Wind up having the stolen bullet time and is able to live. The regular bullet time not able to do anything. And everybody is out of that fight. On top of which, Cobra did TP. Lake is just enjoying free time with the towers up there. Looks like Cobra will be able to take down Crit, which is a shutdown kill. We do like that, but Lake took so much work. Excuse me. Took a whole tower, took so much off of another tower. And if Head can take power, should have been able to take it. He's going to stick around as well. And just keep now looking at that. But how are they losing these advantage fights?
So
for FFZ.
So I think FFZ they really, like I said, they really have to combine their ultimates to really put the pressure onto the enemy team, right? They stack their ultimates, and that should be the easy win, but they just haven't been doing that, and we've kind of seen this all series. The coordination is a little off. So
that is very true, and it looked like while you were saying that, though, I think you caster cursed them, caster blessed them, because that coordination there and allowing for Cobra to escape was at least pretty solid. That said, it looks like, oh no, the bot lane doesn't know. Oh, they are going out the other way. They better be happy that there was a camp to take, because they were about to walk directly into all of the CC. Drop the Chalupa, still very, very killable. It is going to be Manly Mailman walking into everything. Is going to live for now. Zerathai looking to get on something. Subjugate is going to keep Manly Mailman alive for a long time. Drop the Chalupa. Did use the Crescendo, and they're all trying to get out. And it looks like, oh no, there's more people here. And that's going to be the stolen Lilton Lullaby. Going to make all the damage happen. Chobin is going to use the Fate Sealed, excuse me, to get out. But his fate is not sealing. Soul is unbound. Everybody's trying to undie, and I don't know if that's going to happen. Kush is on the wrong side of the map, but should be able to. Fails the dash. Is able to drop the Chalupa anyway. Oh man, that feels so bad.
Yeah, this is really kind of you really have to say, like, hey, let's take it a step back. We're 6,000 gold behind. And be like, okay, well, we're losing towers, we're losing to Lake, we're not putting enough pressure onto Lake, and he's getting away with it, right? So it's the same thing. Like, the point is to not have the scaling top laner get ahead, but every game he's been getting ahead, and there's no response to it.
Yeah, I don't know what is available at this point for FFZ. Like, it shouldn't be that far apart, and yet it kind of is.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, it looks like it should be way closer than it is at current, and it's so confusing because I'm like, why? Just why? Please make it happen.
Well, so FFNZ had the early game, right? So they had a really good start with Chobin, but the thing is, remember when I said Chobin should be roaming around the map and creating advantages for his teammates? Well, that didn't really happen. We haven't really seen a lot of interaction between the multiple ultimates that they've had. And here we go. Well,
they're looking to put in a fight here, looking to get a bunch of people onto Manly Mailman, but Manly Mailman has, or sorry, on the Kush, excuse me, Manly Mailman is able to get the kill on the Kush. You know what? Better than nothing. They have been having so little. So, oh no, Chobin is gonna get CC'd, and now he has to dash away. In the meantime, Lake is taking so much off the top side. There's gonna be a teleport to the tower from Cobra is going to get a 3-person lilting lullaby. We are going to get the ultimate coming out from Chobin. Chobin is able to get the kill. It's going to be the bullet time on the Swagasm. They are, hey, things are happening.
Things are happening, yeah. They still got a 8,000 gold lead to try to overcome.
Oh, no. Oh, whoo. I thought Lake was about to delete Zerathai. If that barrel is not hit by Zerathai, I don't think Zerathai is on the map for a little while now. But they are slowly walking it back. Yeah, no. Oh, my goodness. Took a bunch of damage. However, the Bloodthirster plus the help of the Sona able to keep mostly alive Zerathai. Now they're able to force Swagasm out of their own jungle. We do have Manly Male Mailman as well on the other side. And just like that, FFZ at least looking to put together a little bit of a counter attack, are able to get onto this tower. Chobin trying to get onto Swagasm. That's going to be the subject. It's going to take even more Swagasm's health as it's slowly going to melt down. And they are walking away now. The Herald, or not the Herald, excuse me, the Baron is going to be up in a minute.
Yeah, Baron's up in a minute. Both teams could go for this. I feel like when you're playing the composition that FF and Z have, you have to be the ones to engage first. You can't allow the CC stacking of learning, Kush, Swagasm, and Crit to stack on top of you. Otherwise, that's one member that's already dead before the fight even begins.
That is very, very true. But oh my god. There was a Baron and it's gone. There was a Cobra and now it's gone. Oh no. So 4v5 defense. Let's go FFZ. What do you got to do here? Actually, I think you just told us they have to be the ones to engage, which obviously did not happen because we get the CC chain onto Cobra.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, now you just have to stall. You have to back up.
Ooh.
Let them use their ultimates like that.
Yeah, the Glacial Prism did miss. Kush does have the Crescendo, though, so will be able to do some solid work. They are going to be able to take the mid lane inhibitor. Looks like they're going to be able to take the bottom lane inhibitor, too. No problem, no questions asked. We do get the Crescendo, plus the Fate Seal, plus the Bullet Time, but the Bullet Time doesn't really hit anybody, and Drop the Chalupa is going to be the one that goes down, not anybody on the side of Spectre Gaming. That's going to be, oh my god, that barrel! Those barrels, Lake is able to take out 2. Oh, Cobra just came back and is going to go down again. It's going to be a double kill, triple kill, quadra kill for Lake. Oh my goodness.
And that is the Lake that they needed. And I mean, Lake has been performing all 3 of these series, or all 3 of these games for this series.
I 100% agree. Those barrels just...
Yeah.
You
are absolutely distraught from these.
Literally, hey, they have enough health. It took like an auto. They're gone.
Yep.
They're gone.
Yep.
Not even like a time to process it. No 5 stages of grief. Just, boop. What happened to Chobin? What happened to Zerathai? Oh, they're dead. Why? Barrel. That's all. But I do agree with you. I think Lake was the best performer of this series. Spectre Gaming just rolling. And again, even though Lake was good all 3 games, it was a different person leading them in damage each game. Different person being the problem each game, which is a problem for next week.
Yeah. This was a dominating performance, and I'm excited for the next week's performance. But yeah, maybe we can get one of maybe we can get our caster MVP over on the desk for a little interview here. I'm gonna try to see. But yeah, I definitely think Lake was performing all 3 games in the series. So let's see if I can try to get them in here. But yeah, that is going to be a very good force to be reckoned with going into next week's game. I mean, just the amount of coordination and communication coming out from their team. Yes, even though they stumbled in the beginning of the game, they still came back, and that's what matters the most. Keeping that mental, keeping that. Sure, Chobin gets a few kills, which happened both in game 2 and game 3. So,
yeah, 100% agree. They were ready, they were locked in, and they were absolutely unbothered by what looked like it could be a problem, and just kept rolling with their game plan, which is just how.
yeah, yeah. Well, we have Lake with us now. He can tell you how.
Hello.
How's it
Hi.
going, Lake?
Good.
Yeah,
Fun games.
they were very fun. I bet, especially on your side, it definitely seemed like the fun kind of games to have. 3-0 looked great every game, and even when you didn't look great, you recovered, which is always important. But my question is, so basically you were 3 different champions, 3 different, I don't want to say type of champions, but it was 3 different types of champions.
Mm-hmm.
Why you do that to that man?
Why do I do that to them? I just pick whatever the best champion up is, and that's how we do it.
They were not going to let you have Aatrox.
Yeah,
there were
they
a
finally
couple
figured out that we picked Aatrox every single game if it's up, so they banned it. Unfortunately, that's not the only thing I can play.
Yeah, that is very true. Just, oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I do have a question. In game 1, when you saw that Shen was, I mean, in every single game, rather, you saw that their top laner was trying to impact the map. Being on Shen, can just roam around, but you decided to take upon yourself to try to get that CS lead, and we saw that when we were casting. I mean, the monstrous lead that you have. Was there ever a certain point where you're like, okay, I can finally just all in this guy and just take him out? Or was it more of a, I'm just going to test the waters? Because, I mean, let's be honest, there wasn't a lot of action in the top side for most of these games. It was all in mid or in bot. Was there ever a point where that just was like, okay, I'm just going to kill this guy? Or was it a build-up?
Yeah, I mean, for most of those matchups, it's the tank wins lane until like the carry gets an item. Like in Fiora's case in game 2, I had to play pretty safe until I hit Sunder, but there's literally a point in that game where I sold like all of my items for Sunderer, TP'd the lane, and immediately killed Orin because Sunder's a broken item. So
Yes.
I mean, that's just how the matchups go.
I see.
Similarly,
It's about playing around those item spikes.
Similarly, I actually have a question. I don't want to say selfish, but you played very much where we did see Cobra going to help the team, teleporting to help the team, ulting to help the team in the middle of these team fights. You kind of prioritized your own advantage to make sure that you were always going to be stronger than Cobra going forward. Was that like a preconceived thing where they were like, just stay side lane, get your lead. You'll, even if we lose, because early in game 1 and early in game 3, team fights were kind of lost early with Cobra being there and you just being in the side lane, side laning, getting your lead, getting your CS, getting your tower plates, getting your towers. Was that being communicated? Was that like a conscious decision? Or, were y'all just like, no, we got it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Just, keep hitting that tower. Like, what was going on there?
For sure, yeah, that's kind of how we've been trying to play for a while. Is we generally like me on these type of side laners, and we've gotten pretty good at playing the side lane and like not forcing bad fights while I'm side laning, and like just always getting more than they're getting at the very least.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's always communicated. That's kind of like the point of these comps, right? Is like if you pick up like a Fiora, right? Is I just get towers and solo kill an Orin. That's just like what Fiora does. So
That is true.
Sometimes we have to give up a dragon for it, but if we're giving up a dragon, then it's always for like 2-3 towers. So it's just, you always gotta get more.
That is true. It did seem like you pretty much just hit the tower and killed Ornn. That was kind of a recurring motif.
Yeah.
Yeah, my next question is in regards. So now you've completed semifinals. Are you excited to face the next team in the finals? Like how excited are you? Or is there any like past have you even seen what the next team is like? Anything like that? Any thoughts about that?
Yeah, the Ducks. I actually didn't play them during the regular season because I came in on like the second half.
Okay.
So I haven't played them yet. My team has played them, but I haven't.
Yeah, that is the only team that Spectre lost against this
Yeah,
season.
and it was one we lost to.
Wow. Okay.
So I haven't played them though. So I don't. I know their top laner doesn't play as many tanks. He plays more carries. So that'll be interesting. I think that will be probably like the deciding thing in the matchup is like how top lane goes. Not
Will
to
be a
like be
great
a little too self-focused, but like that's my biggest question mark.
I think that will be a great matchup. So, one, you want to tell us any secrets that you have?
No.
Fair enough. And two, did you have any shout outs or, anything you want to tell your teammates, like, stop feeding Chauvin or something?
Yeah, my mid laner trolled by dying within the first 3 minutes of laning phase. That was pretty cool. Nah, I think we actually played pretty well this series, like everybody did. That was probably our best like series of games, just as a team in general so far. So pretty happy with that.
It was very clean. Looked very deserving of the number one seed. Did not choke it away like, say, the Titans last season. So, we appreciate that. Also, I'm not going to lie. If you had picked who you were going to play and then lost, I would have flamed you.
I mean that would be fair. That'd be deserved. But we picked the team. I also hadn't played DPS, so like I came after both DPS and the Ducks had played my team. So we just kind of picked the one that we played most recently and 2-0'd. So
Okay.
Makes sense. Well, did you have anything else, Wookie Monster?
That's all for me. Great job today. I think you guys smashed it. I mean, that was the second 3-0 that we've seen. So, looking forward to the final game.
oh yeah, one more shout out. Someone clip that barrel. Was
It was.
Yeah, that was a really good barrel.
The barrel and base.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my
the flash barrel.
I think I currently have it clipped probably.
Yeah.
I'm flipping it right now.
Yeah, it
Nice.
was very nasty. 100% agree. Well, thank you for coming to our
Oh
interview.
wow, I didn't realize it was a flash barrel until I'm just now looking back at it. I see.
Yeah, you cue the first barrel and then
I
flash
see.
to place the last barrel.
I
It's a
see.
sick combo.
Yeah.
That definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
That's definitely going on the Twitter. Be sure to follow us at BTL Turn for many. I'm trying to post more clips. I've only been doing that the past week or so, but it's there's some stuff going up there, and we will figure out when the finals will be played because apparently Spectre tells me they can't play Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they said their support is going on a trip to DC with their third grade teacher. I don't know if that's true or not. That may just be troll, but they're telling me that their support can't make
That sounds like I seen that episode of Dateline.
Yeah, so we'll find out when finals, when the toxic tech support crit is able to play. We'll figure that out. We'll see if we get responses from PUDs. Typically, I'd let the two finalists choose whether or not they want to play on Saturday or Sunday, since we typically do BTL on Saturday and Sundays. But we only have one match left, so we could choose. But right now, they're telling me they can't choose either one of those. So.
Yeah, we'll see.
And also the preseason, the season ends that next week. The season ends on the 15th, and I think the pass is on the 16th. So we can't play past that date
So we can
because
play
League of
Monday.
Legends will be completely different. We could
Yeah.
potentially play Monday
The day
or
before the
Tuesday
preseason. Let's go.
if
Oh.
everyone can play, and that also just makes it difficult for me because then I have work until 5. A lot of people have work and stuff, so we'll have to see whenever all that happens. So.
Yeah, we'll see.
Actually,
We'll see.
that would be crazy if you played the finals on the literally first day on the preseason, so nobody even really knows what's going on.
For that to not be
Chaos.
the case. It sounds fun, but
Yeah, we're not. No, we had that happen one year. Never again. We in fact, specifically, if everyone remembers, We had this season. We had this discussion 10 weeks ago before we started the season. We were talking about when we wanted to start the season because of the fact that in 10 weeks' time we would have the preseason patch and we don't want to play finals on preseason patch. So this entire season, this entire schedule led up to this moment so that we do not have finals past that date. So that's why we even started when we did. That's why week 1 we allowed free reschedules. Remember, week 1 was nothing but reschedules because no one was ready. But so it would be really sad if after all of that, after the entire season of reschedules we just had, if we still end up playing finals on preseason patch, I don't know what I would do. I would just be very, very sad. So, but that's it. That's all I have to say. Hopefully we figure out when finals is going to be played. Both of these teams 3-0 in semifinals, so they are definitely ready for finals. We'll see if these
Should
two
be a juicy
teams,
finals.
yeah,
Pretty
it should be a
excited for
definitely
it.
juicy one. Both of these teams are
Very,
very well.
very. But we will be back with finals at a time to be determined.
Mm-hmm.
But before the next patch. So please stay tuned. Watch the Twitter, watch the Discord. I don't know where else updates are posted, but watch those places for sure to make sure you find out when, and don't miss out. It's going to be Spectre Gaming versus PUDS Ducks. I want to say Puddle of Ducks, but that was a different
It's
team.
performance unenhanced ducks is the
Yes.
official full name for PUDs.
Yes, performance unenhanced Ducks, who will look to win a championship, which Barry Bonds didn't, while not being enhanced like Barry Bonds. I like it. I like that plot. But we'll be back. Thank you again to Lake. Thank you again to Spectre Gaming and Fantastic Four with Zerosai. I want to say and Zerosai. I always forget which one they use. But thank you to everyone for stopping by as well. And we will be back. Thank you to Wookie Monster for coming through for both color and production. Thank you to Ito for coming through with all of the like actual information that is very important that we would otherwise have not said.
Yeah. Glad to be here. Have a good night, y'all.
And we'll raid J-Dab. Go say hi to J-Dab. He's playing Modern Warfare apparently. He's a old OG Season 1 member of the BTL community. Black Twitch. Go support your boy. And we will see you guys next time.